Live from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's time for Monday Night Lightning. I'm Rick James, joined by my good buddy Terry Radford, about to get the race going. Terry, welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're 2 corners away from green.
Absolutely, the Queen City here tonight. I come into this league, Monday Night Lightning, and they said, great addition. What a way to do it. Tonight we bring the fire on Memorial Day, honoring every single person, man, woman, who's ever paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country.
Getting ready to go on Memorial Day, Monday night, 200 laps at the world-famous Charlotte Motor Speedway, waiting for the pace truck to pull off. Elliott Longenecker starting in front. Your defending champion, Cody Pennell, starting 7th, waiting for the green flag. 5 car in the front. You've got the 32 who is outside. Green is out. Let's go racing at Charlotte.
Yeah, green flag's out, and it looks like the 32 beat the 5 to the start-finish line. Don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not, Rick, but I think that's what they were talking about. Beautiful paint schemes here tonight. I can't wait to go through the field and show every single person at home what these men and women are doing.
Longenecker leads the first lap. Jason Warren in second. Ryan Pennell sitting third. Daniel Roberts fourth, and Cody Pennell running in fifth. The top 7 separated by fewer than 1/10 of a second. Terry already out to a good start. Everybody making it through okay. Early wreck on, and there it is. 3, 4, 5 cars involved. Big wreck down the back straight. They're going to race it back to the line. Jason Warren to the lead, to the inside of Elliott Longenecker, and the yellow flag is out. Caution number 1 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to roll this one back. Terry, what did you see of that incident that brings us out to this first yellow flag?
Well, it just looked like the 4 kind of had a little bit of an incident, got a little bit loose from the nose of somebody, and just spun it. Took the rest of the field with them, but that's what Charlotte Motor Speedway brings. You come off the exit of these corners, and that's what tends to happen. You're watching the replay here. As he comes through the corner, it kind of looks like he just broke loose. Either he caught the apron or he just really got it. It just sent him around, and that's what triggered this big accident right here. But nothing he really could do to kind of save it. I'm sure looking on his in-car, he got on the brake as much as possible, but the guys behind him were wrecking too. The 99 spins as well.
Alex Simkowski, who was driving the ARCS the ARCS 500 miles of Indianapolis last Wednesday night, coming home to a successful 3rd place finish with that commemorative Elio Castroneves paint scheme with a 99. He is a big Greg Moore fan. So Simkowski, early on, getting some heavy damage. And now Elliott Longenecker still at the front with Jason Warren behind him, 3 laps into this race. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody watching on Twitch and or YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us on this Memorial Day Monday. Beautiful night tonight at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's round 1 of Monday Night Lightning. Crodum says, good luck, Ryan. Terry, a new season, nerves are being frayed right now. What's the hardest part of a new season? Is it shaking off that rust?
Yeah, it's shaking off the rust. But Rick, there's a new car on the track. They're running the next gen. Very lot of unknown here. These cars basically go wide open. And as we were talking to the guys in pre-race, it's all about the long run. You get very loose when you're behind somebody that takes the air off the back end of that car and it wants to kick them around. I drove them once. I wasn't a big fan. I can't wait to see what iRacing does when the next gen comes. But 21 cars on the track, everybody wants to gun to get P number 1.
Everybody's trying to get that top spot, but it's going to be a long run race. We were talking to some of these drivers in practice. They said it's a long run deal tonight. Managing the tires in the first 20 laps will be crucial. Bringing up those race facts here, you'll see drivers will have right around 38 to 42 laps of fuel range in these opening in this 300-mile event here. We mentioned Cody Pennell earlier, the defending champion. Is there added pressure to Cody Pennell, Terry? He comes in, obviously defending that inaugural Monday Night Lightning Championship, but he can't get caught up in the fanfare of what he has to do at the end of the season. It is a long 10 races to the end.
Well, you see him now. He started P8. He's jumped up 4 positions in this beautiful 28 Air Force Mustang. I don't know if there's any added pressure. He knows he's fast, but like we said, last season they didn't run these cars. There might be a little added into it because he is running something new along with everybody else in the field. The fast always rise to the top. I think Cody's going to be just fine. Him and Ryan are both two very competitive guys.
Opened in 1960, this track has showcased so much racing here. Of course, now they have the Charlotte Road Course. They've had Rallycross here as well. Once housing the biggest television on planet Earth. Really, this track has done it all. We've seen it all here. And one driver who's home to this racetrack, Ryan Pennell, growing up in nearby Charlotte, where the track is located in Concord. When they turned the lights on here in 1992, and I'll let him tell the story, Terry, but Ryan Pennell, he's got just great roots in this city, and it'd be great for the hometown boy to really get a win in the season opener. Nonetheless, how does a driver shake off that pressure? Because already in lap 2, these drivers we've had a crash already, and the nerves have to be shot. What are they going to do to shake this off on the next restart?
A long run. You have to get out here. Normally, people start their seasons at Daytona. You go to Daytona, you run it, and everybody goes, it's just Daytona. No, this is Charlotte. This is going to set the tone for the rest of the season. If you run well at this mile and a half, you can run well at every other mile and a half on the schedule. This right here is going to be crucial for the top 21 people who are in here to just knock it off. Get 10, 15 laps under your belt, Rick, and then you can really make a charge at it. It's going to be interesting on this restart, though, because those two brothers back there are ready to come up here and make some noise.
Ryan Pennell and Cody Pennell, cousins. Ryan from the Charlotte area, his cousin Cody from the central Georgia area. We'll see how they get along in these coming laps. Longenecker still leading. He's got Jason Warren in the 32 to his outside. The South Carolinian trying to be victorious in North Carolina. We've shaken off the rust, and let's try it one more time. Longenecker on the inside, waiting for the truck to peel off. Gonna get this race restarted once again. Truck is off, waiting for the green flag, and we're racing once again in Charlotte. Longenecker gets the jump. Let's try it again. Clean and green for the first lap after restart. Longenecker, Warren, Pennell, your top three. You can see the 5 and the 32 now just pulling away from the competition. Sun setting at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, but very cleverly, no sun into these drivers' eyes. But now you've got Jason Warren going to the inside, Terry, leading out of 4.
Jason Warren come up there with a huge head of steam. The Chevy's got the speed back in these next-gen cars. He got the toe going down the back straightaway, which is key here. If you make that driver that's either leading or in front of you slip up the track and you get to that bottom like he's doing, he's painting the blue line. And he's doing a great job, and he's going to pull the 28 with him. Cody Pennell's going to come here and challenge for P number 2.
Pennell challenging for that second position. Now to the inside of Elliott Longenecker, the defending champion in that 28 Air Force Ford. Now to the inside of the Navy Chevrolet. 32-28, 5-year top 3. Dan Roberts hits the wall out of turn 4. He's slow. Jeremy Brio now to his outside, taking 4th position. Hopefully that doesn't put a little bit of fear into D-Rob, but Terry, these cars are not easy to drive, despite the fact that there's a bit more throttle control.
Yeah, these cars are a bit to drive here. You have to be able to stay on the gas, but as the runs progress, you get 20 laps into a run, the tires start to fall off just a little bit more. You have up until then to get everything you can. As the 28 gets into the wall, defending champion goes into the wall here, and he's dropping like a rock. He's going to fall out of the top 5 potentially.
11 laps underway. The defending champion now on the high side. He's got D-Rob to his inside. Kenny Bellamy right behind him in at 37. Charlotte's very own Ryan Pennell now to the inside of Ken Bellamy. And my personal favorite livery in this race tonight, Trey Kirk, with a blast from the late 90s. And there's a wreck up front. It's the 28 of Cody Pennell, and he's gone around already, and there's the defending champ. Down pit road, so far no yellow flag. Longenecker still in the front with Jason Warren behind him, Brio sitting in third. Terry, what happened with the champion?
He had very, very loose, but look at the 24's front end. He's got major damage to the front end of that beautiful Jeff Gordon throwback here. I don't know if that's going to hurt him aerodynamically or not. He looks like he's able to stay in front of the guys. It looks like Steven and Tom, but man, that's huge damage there. Just broke loose in the center of the corner.
You can see a big dent to the front of that number 24 Rainbow Warrior DuPont Chevrolet. Trey Kirk sitting in 10th right now. Longenecker back in front, but he's not out of the woods yet. Jason Warren behind him and starting to close that gap. The top 5 separated by fewer than 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, they're separated, but now the 5's starting to pull away. He looks like Kyle Larson last night in the Coke 600. He was able to gain the speed, and he's able to keep it going. The momentum he's able to run from the middle to the top, he's able to keep it. You see him kind of diamond himself into the corner. He starts up high, then he starts working his way back low. That's incredible drive right now from Longenecker.
Longenecker leading 14.5, almost 15 laps into this race, but Jason Warren says that lead belongs to me. 32 goes to the inside, and Jeremy Brio sitting in third, Terry. He's been up 9 spots since the drop of the green. That number 74 Memorial Day Chevy is on the move, but we talked in practice. Tire management is key. Is this too hard, too fast for the 74?
All depends on what he's driving it. If he's driving it really hard, we've seen people have to check up. He's made a lot of moves just off that. He hasn't had to push the car as hard as we think he has. I've kind of watched him a little bit as I watched him jump up spots. And yet he's watching people make mistakes. As he's side by side with the 30 right now, Daniel Roberts and him are having a great battle for P number 3. This is going to get good because you might be right. He might be burning those tires up, and you're going to watch him in the next 5 laps. He's probably going to be our next caution.
Just a little short of halfway into this fuel run. Brio in the 74 trying to hold on to that car right there. Hell's Ginger in the chat, not a big Jeff Gordon fan, said Hell's Ginger asking what happened to Alex, talking about Al Simkowski in the 99 with this now historic 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Elio Castroneves paint scheme on the AutoNation 99 Ford. Lap 2 crash, 2 separate incidents, drivers giving it too much wheel, and now Brooklyn's Nick Pressey trying to get to the inside of Al Simkowski. Pressey running 20th, a couple of laps back. Jason Warren, Terry, now at the front of this one, and he's got the biggest lead of the night.
Yeah, he was able to pull away. I don't know what happened with the 5, but he looks like he got a little loose. 74 was able to get by, but the 32 was able to do what nobody else has been able to do, Rick. He was able to side draft perfectly, pull it back down, and take off from the field. Now let's see if the draft with the 74 of Jeremy, can he make a run back compared to the front, or are the tires shot by now?
Jeremy Brio in car 74. He's got the fastest lap of the night so far with a 29.75. If you take a look at last time by, he's running identical times to the leader, as are the top 3, all within a couple thousandths of each other. That last time by, 30.46 from Warren, 30.34 from Brio. The 74 is reeling in the 32, Terry, and now he's got the draft down the back.
Yeah, he has been reeling him in. I'm sitting here watching the lap times as well. The top speed, 177 compared to 174. The draft is starting to affect it. The 74, that beautiful paint scheme, a very, very beautiful paint scheme in that Chevrolet, is starting to catch a toe, and he's going to make it happen. Just watching him now, he's going 3 miles an hour faster than the leader, Rick.
This time by Jason Warren, now holding a lead of just 3/10 of a second, 3.6100, excuse me, and 30.43 the last time, 30.37 to Brio behind him. The first 20 laps about to be completed. The 32 really holding on to smooth command, and they said that it was going to be key, is tire management. But now the question has to be asked, How will Brio manage the tires in the second half of this run? Terry, what does a driver do to save tires as the leaders come up on lap traffic?
Well, you just want to make sure you don't press it as quickly as possible. I learned in the turn down for what race on Tuesday nights, I had the lead late and I wrecked it. I wrecked it going into turn one because I was not patient enough. I wanted to go, but you have to tiptoe around turn one. You have to let them get just a little bit of heat in them things and then just sit there and be smooth. You don't have to run qualifying laps every single time, but when it comes towards the end of the run, about 10, 15 laps into it, start to press it a little bit. The tires have already got the good off of them. It's time to take them for a spin. And it looks like the 74 of Jeremy Briot, he really is doing it. I mean, his lap times are just phenomenal across this Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Kenny Bellamy sitting in fourth. Dan Roberts able to get around in that 30 and put a couple lap cars between himself and Ken Bellamy. There's Bellamy there behind the 9 of Seth Wansing. And then John Honeybrink in the number 20 car who's got that damage up ahead. Also in front of Seth Wansing, Mike Swink now dropping back to 14th place in the 18 car. Nick Pressey gets around him. Back to the front, Jason Warren leading, and Brio has now ceased closing that gap, Terry. Have the tires finally gone on car 74?
Have finally gone. His lap times are starting to fall off. I mean, he was able to run a 30.85 to a 30.82, but that wasn't enough. Once he got the draft, I think it really started to affect him more and more because he was going faster. 32 just scraped the wall a little bit, kind of going to make it look a little different on the screen and say, okay, he's catching him. He's not really catching him. It's staying at about a 0.5 right now. Nothing even close here.
You saw that last time by, just 1/1000th of a second is what separated the drivers there. And Donald Ray, is he having trouble? So John Honeybrink now scrapes the wall. He's got Seth Wansing to his inside. A couple of drivers losing spots big time. Don Ray in the 14. There he is right there trying to get just a bit closer now, but he's got damage there. Tom Sears, the Thursday Night Thunder champion. Is this trouble for the number 19 Bass Pro Camry?
Yeah, it looks like trouble. He is slow. Oh man, he is really slow. Looks like he's coming down pit road. Unscheduled pit stop early for this one. He might have hit the wall.
David Hawk now behind Ryan Pennell. The Los Angeles native now a bit of a transplant to Nashville. The Tennessee driver, as we've got a wreck up ahead, or just big smoke. That was the 30 of Daniel No, it wasn't the 30 of Daniel Roberts. Someone else. It was Samuel Roberts, excuse me. Let's run this one back. Samuel Roberts in that 15 car, possibly losing control. Let's take one more look, and that says it all, Terry. Take a look at the 15. He just puts 2 tires down below. Oh, he's already lost it by there. Just gives it too much wheel into 3, trying to save it, and he does save it, albeit with a bang to the inside of the pit road wall, and now it's repairs for car 15, Terry.
Yeah, big puff of smoke right there. When you go into the corner, you have to keep your lane. That's one thing about these next-gen cars. They put 27 laps on these tires. Nobody pitted under the first yellow. When you put laps on them, you want to stay in the groove that you was in. If you make any sudden movement, trying to jerk that wheel, you're going around. Luckily for him, he was able to go ahead and get himself on pit road and didn't collect anybody with him or any more damage than he truly needed.
The gap shrinking between these two. It was half a second. Now it's fewer than 2/10. That last time by, Brio 4/1000ths faster. Brio now going to the outside. Warren trying to defend the inside. They're going to have a drag race into turn number 3. Brio with a great run, and he clears Jason Warren. Jeremy Brio, new leader at Charlotte.
Yeah, I think that was just a case of the 32 not wanting to race at his time and day. He also has a little bit of damage on the right side of that vehicle where he did scrape the wall, kind of caved in just a tad bit, but not a whole lot to slow him down. It just looks like the 74 was just much better on the long run as now he's pulled away in this beautiful military appreciation paint scheme.
Jason Warren sitting in that second position. Stephen Downton driving the number 54 Mopar car finally breaks into the top 10 as green flag stops start to cycle around. And the fuel range, although it's 38 to 42 laps, Terry, it looks like these drivers coming in for some desperately needed tires. Brio to the lead in car 74, and the top 3 now the only ones that have yet to pit.
Yeah, it's definitely time for tires. The guys who want to go off sequence. I mean, some of these guys have had issues. They've been a lot looser than the rest. they want to come down and get tires early, because if you short pit this, you're able to gain a couple seconds. These guys look like they're going to stay out and try to run all the way as far as they can, which is a smart move because they all have fast hot rods, Rick.
Jeremy Brio, 31 laps into this race. Just pulling away now. Stephen Downton making his way into 6th. Another driver that hasn't pitted, and Ryan Pennell's gone around. There's a crash from the 12, Ryan Pennell. And let's get to the driver of that 12 car. He's coming down pit road. Is that heavy smoke billowing out of that 12? No yellow will come out. And look at the damage to the back end of that number 12 body armor Ford as Elliott Longenecker goes around. Caution flag number 2 is out at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fans at home, we're going to take this opportunity to take a quick 60-second break. That will keep the pre-rolls off, and we'll be ready to go for the restart. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a 60-second break and be back for the restart of the Monday Night Lightning season opener at Charlotte. Fans at home, if you can still hear us, you are listening to Rick James and Terry Radford. Terry, thank you so much for joining me, buddy. Welcome to the show once again, if I haven't properly welcomed you before. A new season, and I couldn't think of a better way to have you in the booth.
Well, I mean, I've been looking for something to do on Monday nights, and, you know, don't really, we have very conflicting schedules. So for the people that are listening, they might have a new Monday night team.
Well, possibly. We'll see here. Having a lot of fun so far, man. The iRacing community has really just welcomed us with open arms, and the Allied Racing Championship Series is just ready to go, and Season 2 is already up and running with flying colors here. There's our race leader, Jeremy Brio, coming down pit road. And I don't know how familiar you are with iRacing, Terry, but man, compared to what we've had on Forza Motorsport 7 and other racing games, it is just day and night.
Oh, it is absolutely phenomenal. I have loved watching the iRacing world just bloom. And coming back from Korea and getting to turn this on and working with the SDK stuff, this has just been the most phenomenal thing I've ever had. We weren't spoiled like we should have been on NASCAR Heat, but we come here and we are just pampered. Just absolutely pampered.
Brio still in front, moving up 11 spots since that green flag, the initial green flag. Seth Wansing, the KC masterpiece, now in 5th place. Stephen Downton up to 8th. Hell's Ginger in the chat says, I don't want commercials. Well, it's we're going to be commercial free here for the next 19 minutes and 20 seconds. We put those ads up just so those pesky 30-second pre-roll ads don't plague new viewers at their first watch, so they can get right into the action as soon as possible. But I promise, Hell's Ginger, you will not miss a lap of green flag action. Mama Vols is in the chat. Terry, your mama has been so kind to me and my crew when we stream on a nightly basis. I honestly have to say, Mama Vols is one of my biggest fans.
Well, she is your biggest fan. We had this conversation the other day, and she actually said, you know, there's just something about what Rick does. He's so fluent, he's elegant with his words, and he has so much knowledge about the racetrack. She goes, he's better than you. She listed her order as you, me, and then Pete. And I said, man, if I could be under anybody on a list, I would not want to be under a list with anybody but Rick. So it meant a lot to me, and that's why I had to play around on Twitter and see what she thought.
Well, now the top two in the booth, we're getting ready to sprinkle some magic over these next 10 Monday Night Lightning weeks. Jeremy Brio still being scored as the leader. Let's see if we can bug the race leader, Jeremy Brio, and see how his race is going so far. If I could push the right button, we'd get him in here. Jeremy Brio, it's Rick and Terry in the booth. You got a copy, pal?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Jeremy, it's been a thrilling start to this race so far. Only a couple cautions in these first 35 laps. How difficult is it to manage these tires?
It's pretty hard. The cars are just out of control, loose. It's a lot of fun, but like you got to be off the throttle at least maybe 75% of the time through the corner. It's basically impossible.
Now, this is very different to what some of the drivers were saying the car is too easy to drive. The car can just be planted full throttle around the racetrack. What's the difference now in race trim?
I'm guessing it's the setup because it's completely different from the default setup. Whatever Elliott did and Cody did when they were testing, they did something to the setup, and it's a lot of fun to drive, I can tell you that, but a lot of guys are having a hard time.
Glad to hear it, Jared. Glad to hear you're having fun. Before we let you get back to work, my friend, we're going to ask you, what is your favorite breakfast food?
Blueberry pancakes.
Good answer. Love the blueberry pancakes, my friend. Now, also remind me, what chat are we putting you back in? Because I completely forgot.
Full send racing.
Full send racing. Best of luck tonight, Jeremy. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Blueberry pancakes, Terry. How do you feel about blueberry pancakes?
I'm not a big blueberry fan. I think if I was going to, I don't really like pancakes, but if I was going to put anything in it, it's going to be chocolate chips.
You know, I put chocolate chips in everything. I've even started putting chocolate chips in my cereal as well, and it makes everything more fantastic. Not Raisin Bran. I'm not a big Raisin Bran fan. We've had arguments with these drivers about Raisin Bran over the last few weeks, but you know, pancakes are pretty good. I'll take chocolate chip pancakes any day, buddy. But forget the pancakes. Let's go racing. What do you think, man?
I'm always down for some good racing. Charlotte Motor Speedway on a Monday night, Memorial Day, green flags back in the air, Rick. Let's do it.
Hell's Ginger says chocolate chip waffles, Terry. How do you feel about chocolate chip waffles as well? You a waffle guy?
I'm a waffle guy. Pancakes are too thin. They get too syrupy.
You know, I'll tell you what, they do tend to get syrupy, but there's that, to quote the great scientist Rick Sanchez, or to paraphrase I should say, they've reached that crucial moment of syrup absorption where they become a paste, and it's right before then that it's just that optimum absorption of syrup. But I agree with you as well. I can't take soggy pancakes or waffles. Jason Warren to the lead attitude, Terry.
Jason Warren's able to come down here. He's running bottom. This is what we saw. We saw the 74 better on the long run, Rick. The 32 was perfect on the short run, but you see a 3-car breakaway, 2 Chevys and a Ford. The Ford is really surprising me. I didn't think the Fords was going to be able to keep up with these 2 Chevys, but this 30 has came alive. Daniel Roberts is really making some headway to the front as he goes under the 74 for second.
D-Rob to second place to the inside of Jeremy Brio. Steven Downton sitting fourth. He's up 17 spots since the green flag now. That 54 car, he's got the 37 of Kenny Bellingham running 14th to his inside. But a strong run by this, and check this paint scheme out, this Mopar Dodge Charger. How do you like the creativity there?
Do enjoy the creativity on the Charger here. I did not know we had Chargers in here, but it is beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't, but they've taken the headlights on the front of that Ford Mustang, turned them into Dodge Charger headlights, and now we have this sensational Mopar livery. Now looking at the 18 behind him, Michael Swink, who's in 6th place. He's behind the 2 of Thomas Andrews in this creative silver and black Miller Ford. Andrews now battling with the 5 car of Elliott Longenecker, who seems to have been trapped a lap down since that caution, but the 5 is on the move since the restart.
Yeah, the 5 is on the move, but he has to desperately go get his lap back. He has been one of the fastest cars we've seen. A lot of people got trapped a lap down here, Rick. We can't stress that enough. The caution came out in the midst of green flag pit stops. Some of these guys pitted. Most of these guys didn't, and that's why we're seeing some of the guys that were early up front. They're not up front no more.
Alex Simkowski now side by side with the 15 car, Sam Roberts, who was involved in that latest, I believe it was Sam Roberts who was involved in the latest caution, or Ryan Pinnell, one of the 2. But both of those drivers have had incidents on pit road. Simkowski now being overtaken by the 14 of Donald Gray, the Arkansas pilot, sitting 17th right now. He was one of the drivers that was trapped with that unfortunate yellow flag situation in the middle of a green flag run. Jason Warren leading, Jeremy Brio behind him, and Dan Roberts in 3rd. Terry, these 3 are just peeling away from the rest of the field. It's a 2.5-second gap between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, they are sitting here. They're running in tandem. All 3 of these cars are staying in alignment with one another. They're not really racing. Big story here. The defending champions actually 3 laps down right now, sitting in 18th spot. And we only have 11 cars on the lead lap, and the 5 is 2 laps down now.
Huge implications already with the defending champion being trapped because of the yellow flag in the middle of a green flag cycle. Stage 1 will end in the next 7.5 laps. Lap 50, lap 100, and then of course lap 200 will be our breaks in the show. And look at the chat here. We've got so many people talking to us about breakfast. I'm absolutely loving this. We've got Bama Tram in here. Of course, Mama Ball is always showing some love. Gotta love it. Hell's Ginger, not a fan of blueberries. Hell Ginger loves the chocolate chip waffles. Krabby Soup wishing everybody good luck. Bama Trama, here we go. Mama Balls likes scrambled eggs, crispy bacon, and cheese grits. I think we're going to have some Brinner after this show, man. I'm hungry for breakfast for now. Hell's Ginger cheering on Mr. Stephen Downton, running in 5th place. So far, a pretty great show so far, Terry. Here goes Jeremy Brio to the inside of Jason Warren for the lead.
Jeremy's back on the inside. Here comes the 30, Daniel Roberts. He's able to get up there as well. This has been one of the things. The 32 hasn't been good on the long run. He still has that damage on the right side. I don't think he used his fast repair to fix, nor an optional repair. He kept the lead, but now we see the 74s pulling away like he did on the long run here. He was able to conserve his tires, and now he is almost gone.
74 pulling away, trying to get the stage 1 win before it's over. D-Bucks. Dustin Painter, my man, we're going to see him tomorrow night in the OG Modifieds. He says apple pie moonshine, the breakfast of champions. You know, maybe. Bama Trama with a couple of thumbs up there. Jeremy Brio just pulling away with this one. Dan Roberts in second here, Terry.
Yeah, they got me stuck on the apple pie moonshine. I got some sitting in the fridge, but it is a work night. I can't really divulge myself in it. As the 30 looks like he's getting a run here. Could he be the first 4 to lead this race? We've seen a lot of Chevy dominance so far. As the 32 is going to get a run now, he's going to try to side draft here. P number 1 and P number 3 aren't going down without a fight.
There's the 30 to the inside. He puts that black Mustang to the inside of the number 74 Chevrolet. Out of turn number 2, Daniel Roberts, will he have the speed down the back? Brio's got the run, drag racing into 3, Terry.
Yeah, still drag racing into 3. 30's going to go to the bottom, 74 up top. He's going to get the momentum. Shades of Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson. Contact's made. 74 goes up the track. He saved it. Incredible, and they're still drag racing to the line.
Across the line now, 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Roberts, Brio, Warren, your top 3 running away with this one. Thomas Andrews closes the gap to 1.2 seconds now, where it was 2.5. It may not be 3 to decide stage number 1. Roberts has not cleared Brio yet, and they're drag racing one more time into 3, Terry.
Still drag racing. The 32's been able to kind of get up there, get into the draft off the 74, but he is sideways up on the tie side, but he's still able to save it, and he's taking the lead back. 74 back to the lead, challenge for second.
Now the 32 of Jason Warren on the outside gets second place. White flag next time by to end stage number 1. Brio pulling away with this one on the high side now, coming up to Brooklyn Cressy in the number 94. The Brooklyn rookie trying to stay out of the way of this fight. He dips down, tip of the cap to the Star Spangled 94. Brio coming to that white flag. D-Rob on the inside of Jason Warren. He's losing all sorts of control in that hot rod. The tires are gone in the 30. Oh, he almost gets into the 32, Terry.
Oh, I'm about to say, they're about to make contact there. We were going to have another shade of the All-Star race here, as it looks like the stage 1 break is going to go to the 74 of Jeremy.
Just a half lap to go if Brio can hang on. Daniel Roberts also holding on to that race car. He clears Jason Warren for second place. And there's a crash at the back. Longenecker's gone around. He's spinning, coming to the line. Big smoke coming out. There's the yellow flag, and stage number 1 will end. Brio, Roberts, Warren, your top 3, and we are still ad-free for the next 8 minutes, so we'll try and take a break for the next time around. Pro Plutonics says, man, watching these guys zip gets me pumped for when ARCS does the Dirt Series next year. We won't let the cat out of the bag just yet, but ARCS is planning to do Dirt in 2022. Where and when, that will be announced later on in this season. But I'll tell you what, Terry, good start to stage number 1. A great way to start the season.
Great way to start the season. The long runs were able to progress. We saw a little bit of a caution fest in the first, but that's just knocking the rust off. These guys had to get used to the next gen cars. They put a ton of practice in, but I'm telling you, I have been very impressed with this 74. He has been able to ride every line on the track. He's run against the wall. He's run the middle. He's run the bottom, and everywhere his car is perfect. But can he win the short run? And is this race going to come down to a green-white checker?
There we see a couple of drivers not taking advantage of pit road. Looks like one of those is Ryan Pinnell trying to get one of his laps back. The North Carolinian native repairs that body armor number 12. And I don't know if you've seen the real-life counterpart to this paint scheme, Terry, but it is something else. It seems like Ryan Blaney's really going to have some cool clothes to wear for the remainder of this season.
yeah. Some of these paint schemes out here just it has me in awe. The 94 is beautiful. The 14, the 37. I mean, all of these paint schemes are so awesome. Thinking of Memorial Day and all the people I served with, all the people that have been lost. Got a couple people that I've thought about today that either didn't make it home or they lost the battle at home after the fact. So it's been a very good day across the board to celebrate people's lives and all the freedoms that we have to do something like this tonight.
One of the best parts of Memorial Day weekend, at least for me, to bring up the nostalgic side of it, is this racetrack, this race, and everything it symbolizes. Of course, we don't need to explain how wonderful it is that we get to do this every single year, but just the pageantry, the tradition that comes with it. Every Memorial Day, you knew you were going to watch Formula One, the Indy 500, and you were going to watch the Coke 600, and it just made a perfect day of motorsport. And here we are on Memorial Day Monday with a new season of Monday Night Lightning, with that starting this wonderful, wonderful tradition. And Terry, I think the wheels have already been put in motion for ARCS to start its own Memorial Day tradition. We had the Mental Health America 250, that great charity race we had last Monday night. Then we had the 500 miles of Indianapolis Wednesday night. And now, Memorial Day Monday, because we've been celebrating Memorial Day all week, we get to cap off our celebrations with the season opener for Monday Night Lightning Season 2. Everything just seems to be falling into place for ARCS.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It kind of reminds me of what the Cluck Clash does with all the amazing races they're going to be doing. I'm just honored to be here and calling this race with you and looking at these paint schemes. I mean, these guys put a lot of effort in to putting it out here and showing everybody at home, all the people that are watching, how beautiful America is, whether it's slabbed on the side of a car or they're just going to come in and be all about it. This race right here, especially at Charlotte, you're in the Queen City. You're racing on NASCAR's home turf. Man, nothing's better than this right now.
Al Simkowski, if you haven't seen, rocking those Helio Castroneves colors after a historic fourth Indianapolis 500 win. David Hawk bringing back a little bit of nostalgia from the late 90s when Jeremy Mayfield was in the number 12 Mobil 1 Ford. There's our defending champion, Cody Pinnell, rocking the Air Force colors in that number 28 machine. Michael Swink has moved up. He's got he's got a little bit of patriotism here with his red, white, and blue. Looks like he's almost got his U.S. Army, Air Force, excuse me, the U.S. Air Force insignia on the hood of that one. But a good creativity here by all these drivers. Great stuff. And then Jacob Fifield in that star-spangled number 4 Busch Light car, almost reminiscent of Jeff Gordon's fireworks scheme in the 02 Pepsi 400. Terry, we're getting ready to go here. We're going to get the green flag and start stage number 2 this time around. What have the drivers learned? What will we see different in this second period?
I'll tell you what we're seeing difference. The 18 wasn't there before. I don't know what the 18 did or if people fixed damage, but he's there in the mix now. What can the 18 do to make a difference in this race? Is he going to get the launch? I don't know how many tires he took or if somebody just made a mistake on pit road and he got them, but he's there now. And plus another difference is they've already had 50 laps under their belt, actually 53 to be exact. They know what the car is going to do. They know how hard they can push it, and I think we're going to see an even better stage number 2.
I quote the great American poet Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., who says, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." Michael Swink, is that real G in the number 18 Camaro? It's a Chevy lockout of the first 3 spots, getting ready to start this second period of racing. Another 50 laps on Memorial Day Monday. Pace truck pulls off, waiting for the flag. Leader goes, and we're racing again in Charlotte. First lap, clean and green. Terry, Warren, Brio, Roberts, top 3.
Yeah, 32 was able to get by there. Jason Warren was able to pass the 74. I think the 32 has at least a 5 to 10 lap car. And other than that, the 74 has been the dominant. But here comes the 30 back into the mix. He's starting to crawl back up there. That Ford is stout tonight. And here comes the 2 as well, and another Ford. Thomas Andrews is making his way to the front.
Connecticut's very own Thomas Andrews now behind the 30 of Daniel Roberts, crossing the line this time by 57 laps underway in the Queen City. That Special Miller Ford making his way through the field, now gaining 7 spots since the drop of the green flag. There goes Brio. He's gone around out of 2, trying to save that race car. Glove save Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Can you believe he didn't wreck?
Surprised he didn't wreck that. If that was me behind the car, it would have been in the catch fence, probably getting towed back there. But the 74 of Jeremy Brillat, he is very much skilled at what he has here. And here comes Cody Pennell, defending champion, back into the top 6. After an early mistake, Rick, he's found his way back to the top.
Still sitting in the top 10. Let's bring up the gap, because a lot of these drivers still trapped more than a lap down since that yellow flag in stage number 1. 12 drivers remain on the lead lap, the last of which is the KC masterpiece, Seth Wansing, who's got a spot of trouble here. That camo Napa Know-How Chevrolet by his lonesome, sounding rather sour. Jason Warren now losing all, just a little bit of a blink there. Back to Seth Wansing. What happened to the 9, Terry?
9 just looks like he got jumbled up on the restart. He had to catch the field. He took the free pass, and when he came to catch him back up, it looks like he got into the back of somebody, but no harm, no foul. If he catches a caution at the right time, he's going to be able to go in and fix it, and he won't go another lap down.
In 1994, Pittsburgh's Indiana, Jeff Gordon won his first NASCAR Winston Cup race in a car that looked identical to this number 24 Rainbow Warrior paint scheme, and since then, 92 wins later, the legend that was Jeff Gordon ran a myriad of paint schemes, a myriad of colors, but for me personally, when I think Jeff Gordon, I think this sensational Rainbow Warriors 24.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not a big Jeff Gordon fan. I'm more of the 3 guy. I love what Dale Earnhardt did, but Jeff Gordon was the modern day guy. He brought us into mainstream. He made NASCAR popular. He brought us to the light that we are today. Beautiful paint scheme, but I can't get my eyes off of that number 2. Thomas Andrews really did a good job bringing back the Rusty Wallace schemes back when Rusty was on the top of his game.
Since Thursday Night Thunder started last spring, Thomas Andrews has had an affinity for that number 2 Penske car, and since we brought iRacing into the mix, here's a guy whose liveries just get better and better. The number 4 of Fifield coming out of pit road now. Thomas Andrews, not only does he have a penchant for just being mathematically on his game every single week, he drives some of the prettiest race cars out there as well. One guy who likes to keep it simple, though, Jason Warren, and simply put, Terry, he's led every lap in stage 2.
Yeah, he has led every lap, but the guy that was challenging him, Jeremy Brillat, he had an accident. He spun. He almost lost control of the car. So now he's finding himself back here in the 8th place position, and he's getting a challenge now from Daniel Roberts. But don't sleep on the 28. He's found his way to the top 3. that 28, that Air Force machine looks really, really strong in the long runs. Here he comes challenging for second, Rick.
Rio in the 74. There's Pinnell in the 28, now to the outside of Roberts in the 30. The two of Andrews scraping the wall into turn number 1. This is exactly what Jason Warren wants to see. Kirk washing high on the racetrack. He got a little bit loose, but saved it. Thomas Andrews now to his inside, and he puts the MGD Ford in position to take fourth. He's got the 37 of Kenny Bellamy right behind him, but Kenny sitting 14th right now, 2 laps down. Last time around, these drivers putting up insane numbers. Now Cody Pinnell with the fastest lap of the race with a 30.19. And Pinnell now to the front. He gets to the inside of Warren and he clears Jason Warren, the defending champion Cody Pinnell, new leader at Charlotte.
How you show right there that you have a strong car and you're ready to defend your championship from last season. He comes out here, has a bit of trouble at the start of this race, and then he bounces back. He comes back and pulls the Jimmy Johnson lucky horseshoe out of his behind, pulls it back to the front. P1, first laps led for the 28 of Cody Pinnell.
You can see that over the last 5 laps, Cody Pinnell has just been faster than Jason Warren up and through that last lap there. Warren now getting a bit closer. Keep your eye on the bottom right-hand corner. The delta will show us how close Warren gets. There's the gap extending 0.2 plus. How does Warren close this gap using the draft, Terry?
He's going to have to stay tucked in, run the exact same line as the 28. But like I said earlier, I don't think the 32 has a very good long run car. I think after a certain amount of time, that car just falls off. I mean, it falls off drastically. It's like it just walked off a cliff. But he's able to contend in second. The 30 and the 24 haven't been able to catch him and go up there and pass him. But he's going to have to work on something. He's going to have to change some balance out because this race isn't going to be just short runs. You're going to have to manage it over at least a 50-lap run here.
The last time by, Trey Kirk had the fastest lap of the top 5 with a 30.2. This time by comes in with a 30.43, but still the quickest lap of the top 5 pilots. Kirk is on a mission in that 24, leaving the 5 behind him. 3 seconds between 4th and 5th place, respectively. What is in these top 4 race cars?
And I think they might have some jet fuel in there. They're pulling a Michael Waltrip as the 32 gets loose. He's in the wall and flipping.
Jason Warren through the air, sailing through that air, and now end over end, 69 laps into this race. Caution number 4 is out, and not a nice time for Jason Warren. Let's roll this one back, Terry. What in the world happened to the South Carolinian? It looks like he just got loose.
And I'm rolling it back as well. He looked like David Rudiman at Texas, where he just absolutely lost it. He got on the apron just a tad bit here and just went around. Right when he gets off the exit of the corner, it just started spinning uncontrollably.
And there he lands on his roof. One more driver got involved there at the end. I wasn't sure what exactly happened, but there was smoke coming from somebody else out of turn number 4, and it looks like potentially the 30 of Daniel Roberts may have also been involved. Keep your eye on D-Rob out of 4. There he goes. He hits the blue line, and Trey Kirk just barely avoids D-Rob. D-Rob escapes down pit road. Let's run this back one more time because I want to see this from Trey Kirk's angle. We'll get into the cockpit of this 24 car and just watch Kirk avoid this mess.
Somebody might want to get Trey a pair of underwear because, man, I think he might have been pooping himself right there on that one.
Days of Thunder stuff from car 24. Oh, isn't that insane? Isn't that just wild? Days of Thunder stuff from car 24. But everybody makes it through safe and sound. 70 laps now underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fans at home, we're going to take another 60-second break to keep the pre-rolls off, and we will be back for the restart of Monday Night Lightning at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back with you at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're ad-free for the next 19 3/4 minutes. Lurkin Tom Gaming, or Tom Sears as he's known in the chat, saying, tough day for me. Sorry I couldn't put on the show, got taken out early. Good racing, boys, and that's good sportsmanship there from the Thursday Night Thunder champion, Terry. It's tough to take that on the chin. How are we going to bounce back from this? Because he's got to put the helmet on and go racing again next week, knowing he DNF'd before the end of stage 1.
Well, you just gotta look forward. You have to go practice, put more in. It wasn't of his own doing. Sometimes you have good days and sometimes you have bad days. Today was a bad day for Lurking Tom. Next week, it's gonna be better. They're gonna go to a racetrack where maybe everybody's a lot calmer.
It's going to be Sonoma. It's going to be a grand race there. One of the first road courses there, Sonoma Round 2, the All-Star race, going to be run between Round 2 and 3 at the iRacing Super Speedway. And then they're going to take it to the Nashville Fairgrounds for race number 3. Love that little local short track action. So far, so good. Cody Pennell at the front in that 28 car. And it looks like we're going to get one to go here. Let's try and bother the reigning champion and see how his race has been going so far. Cody Pennell, it's Rick and Terry in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Cody, going one to go this time by, man. A tough race for you so far, but how are we going to bounce back here and get this ready to go at the end of stage 2?
It's going to be tough, Rick, because I had to kind of pull a strategy move there and stay out because I had wasted a set of tires early in the race, and I'm trying to get back on the same playing field as everybody else. So we'll see how these old tires stack up against the fresh tires behind me.
What's going to be the move here? Trey Kirk has been the fastest in the last 10 laps. How are you going to hold him off?
To be honest with you, Rick, I may not hold him off. It's a long race. Probably the smart thing to do just be to let him by.
And before we go back to green here, Cody, the fans have to know, my friend, what is your favorite breakfast food?
Definitely have to be waffles.
Waffles, all right, love it, man. We've had one
Yes.
for pancakes, one for waffles, man. Any particular flavor? Blueberry, chocolate chip?
Oh, I'm a blueberry man.
Blueberry. 2 for blueberries tonight. All right, all right. Well, let's get back to work here, Cody. You have a good one, buddy.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
The 2 for blueberries is what's getting me. I agree with the waffles part, but the blueberries are just weird.
What do you have against blueberries? You know, and I'll tell you what, blueberries, it's not my favorite thing, but I will enjoy a blueberry muffin every now and then.
Every now and again, because those aren't real. I can't do a real blueberry. They just taste too tart for me. I like every other fruit but blueberries.
At least it's not Raisin Bran.
That is true. I don't have a fiber issue.
The blueberry number 28 of Cody Pennell leading us to the 4th restart of the night. Green flag is out, and here we go again. Through that first lap after the restart, Terry.
Yep, clean and green, and the blueberry car is about to get passed by the Skittles 24, as it looks like a bag of Skittles have been dumped all over his car. The 28 on the old tires is able to hold him off, but the Miller Lite guy wants to crack a beer and pass both of them, Rick.
24-28 to your top 3 coming out of the 4th corner. 75 laps going to be completed, and Trey Kirk just doesn't edge Cody Pennell to that line. 76 laps underway, but that last time by, Thomas Andrews second quickest. Stephen Downton, now Alex Simkowski the quickest with a 30-27 to 99, and now sneaking back through this field. First top 5 appearance tonight.
First top 5 appearance for him. Look who's coming into the picture. Oh, and 20, it's going around, 2 turns him. Big contact with the 20, with the 54. They're all stacking up here.
Big wreck out of the fourth corner. Let's run this one back. Contact, you say, between the 28 and the 2. Thomas Andrews in that number 2 Miller car. Cody Pennell, the reigning Monday Night Lightning champion, in the 28. And there indeed is contact between them. Let's take a look at what happened. Single file into 3. Terry, it looks like the 2 is already getting ready to make his pass on the 28. What happened?
It just looks like the 28 just wanted to come down more. And when the 28 kept coming down, it ended the run. 2 gets a big run. 28 was already loose. 2 had nowhere to go, and it stacks the field on behind him. Tough break for the defending champion. This is the second time tonight he has been in an incident. It's not looking good for our defending champ.
Jeremy Brio also involved in that incident. There he is down pit road, and that's going to put Indiana's Alex Simkowski to the front of this race. Maybe a little bit of good mojo from that Elio Castroneves livery on that number 99 Ford Mustang. Connecticut's very own Thomas Andrews in second. And these cars just slowing down. A lot of guys coming down pit road. 5th caution is out tonight. Terry, let's have a word with Alex Simkowski. See if we can find him and bother him real quick. Al Simkowski, it's Terry Radford and Rick James in the booth. You got us?
Gotcha.
Hey, bud, you're sitting there in that number 99 Elio Castroneves paint scheme, and hopefully it's brought you a little bit of good luck because you, my friend, are at the front of the Monday Night Lightning season opener.
Yeah, got a little loose there at the beginning, and I think I just got my mind in Indy cars still. But now I think after we got a little bit of time in here now, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. But you can see there's guys are getting loose pretty easily on these old tires.
Is it all tires? Because we know the fuel range goes between 38 and 42 laps, but we see drivers coming down well after 15 laps thinking about fresh rubber.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say about 20 laps is comfortable on tires. After that, it's kind of like a skating rink. Plus, there's a lot of aero push on these things, too. Obviously, the car's new, so we're kind of learning it ourselves here on how these things handle in the back. And, yeah, it's interesting. It's fun.
What's the adjustment? Because talking to some drivers before this season opener, they said the car was too easy to drive. They said the car was too well built. But now in race trim, it seems the complete opposite, that these cars are tough to drive. Where's the change between practice and now?
You know what? Honestly, I think iRacing might have put out a couple of updates. And obviously track state matters and temperature and everything. So who knows? I mean, I haven't been on the service since Wednesday night for our 500, and I don't know if anything's really drastically changed or not, but I'm just here, just trying my best.
We're going to let you get back to work here in just a second, but the fans at home have to know, my friend, what is your favorite breakfast food?
We go back to cereal, and I know what kind of cereal it is. It's Raisin Bran.
Get out. And that's all we need to hear from Alex Simkowski. So,
I think that was enough.
Yep, that's all we need to hear. We're not going to hear from Alex Simkowski for the rest of the evening. Trey Kirk leading this race in the 24 car. He's only saying that to get my goat, and he got me real good. So, Al Simkowski, if I could find him points, I would find him points for Raisin Bran. But unfortunately, that's not my call to make. We'll appeal to the stewards once this one's over.
Yeah, I don't know. People with the Raisin Bran stuff. It's a beautiful paint scheme, though. Watching the Indy 500 yesterday was just such a spectacle. I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. My wife said before she left for the beach, "Oh, Terry, why do you have to watch the pre-race?" Well, if you don't watch the Indianapolis 500 pre-race show and you see all the festivities they have, are you really watching the race? Are you just there? I actually thought, Rick, I got brought up a good idea. If somebody wanted to do an Indy Charlotte double one race weekend and have broadcasters come out and do it, and I said, you know what? I want to race all 1,100 miles. Would you do 1,100 miles with me?
No. I wouldn't race it. No way. Are you crazy? One, there's a reason I'm sitting in the broadcast booth. It's because I cannot drive these cars. Two, I don't have that kind of patience. I will happily sit there and cheer you on in chat. Will I drive it? Not a chance. But thank you for inviting me. Mighty kind of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do a 6-hour race for a league. I'm going to call 6 hours worth of broadcasting at Talladega coming up here in July 31st. So I don't know if I have the patience for it, but hey, we're going to find out.
Fun projects all around is one of the things I love about iRacing. They give us really just so many options to choose from. Any racing fan, just if you're a fan of motorsport in general, iRacing is the sim for you.
iRacing, if anybody could tweet this out to the iRacing people, that was the best plug. They should give you a lifetime membership just for that plug.
One can only hope. But I think we're going to get a green flag before that one comes to fruition. Fingers crossed. Bama Trama says, woohoo, Dega baby. She's excited for those 6 hours. We'll get excited for this next restart, Terry. 81 laps underway, and we're turning loose again at Charlotte. Big jump from the 24 Trey Kirk, Terry.
Yeah, big jump by the 24 Trey. Big battle right here between the 99 and the 21. David and Alex had a good thrill of a run right there. The 21 was able to get under the 99, but he wasn't able to hold it. You have 2 rookie licenses sitting there in the top 4 of this race. That is incredible by the rookies.
Jason Warren in that 32, driving behind the 18 of Michael Swink. Warren riding around in that 32 car. He's still 1 lap down, but Roberts in the 30 is the only car that stands in his way of getting that lucky dog. So there's a fight between the 30 and the 32 alike. 10 cars on the lead lap with the 54 of Stephen Downton in that Mopar Ford Charger, if you will. I love that. Bai is lonesome there, but just bringing up the back. Trey Kirk shot out of a cannon, Terry, 6/10 ahead of Alex Simkowski.
Yeah, this man has been lights out since the middle portion of this race, and now he finds himself leading the 99 of Elio Castroneves' paint scheme from yesterday's win. Will that bring him to luck here tonight? Who knows? But I know he's going to have to get past a very stout DuPont Chevrolet if he's going to get into victory lane.
The DuPont Chevrolet of Trey Kirk, the AutoNation Ford of Alex Castroneves Simkowski, and then David Hawk in the number 21 Mobile One Ford, your top 3. That last time by, the top 2 running identical time. Well, now it seems like Simkowski is lapping almost 2 tenths quicker than Kirk.
Yeah, the draft is a big key here, especially in these cars, and he's getting just a very small sample size as he's starting to close the gap on the back straightaway going into 3. They're going to come out here, and it looks like he's going faster in the center of the corner right now. This is going to be a great battle for the lead, Rick.
Kirk, Simkowski, Hawk, your top 3. Great paint schemes all the way around this racetrack, but even better racing. Here's Jeremy Brio in the 74, your stage 1 winner, Terry. He's on the move.
Yeah, he's finally coming back. He got his lap back. He finds himself racing back to the front. He's been the fastest guy on the long run. Can he make his way back to the front? The 32 I thought was the guy to beat when it came down to it, but his troubles here tonight, he's going to have to hope for a caution. The 74 got what he needed, and here he comes with a head full of steam.
74 now to the inside of the 2, looking to the outside of the 2, headed into 1, 74. Now behind that 2, Seth Wansing in the 8th position, right behind him. Trey Kirk just 2 tenths now ahead of Al Simkowski, rounding turn number 4. Chevy, Ford, your top 3, 86 laps complete.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer, Rick, to the end of stage number 2. The 99's really stepping up his game. That last time by, he was 6/1000ths of a second faster than the leader. That's every lap he's clicking off more and more. The race is getting good. They're pulling away from P number 3. David Hawk is starting to fall out of the picture. Top 2 is going to be the ones that we have to look for here.
There's Hawk back in 3rd in the Mobile One Ford. He sits a full second behind 2nd place while Simkowski's getting closer. Then Michael Swink, 3.5 seconds behind David Hawk in that 18 car. And Ryan Pennell in that number 12 car. He's sitting between all these guys. Pennell currently running 13th, fighting to get his lap back. Just so much happening between the lead, between the guys that are fighting for their lap back. Stephen Downton losing an incredible amount of time here, Terry. Big trouble for the 54.
big trouble for the 54 here. I don't know what happened to him. It looks like he's all beat up on both sides and the rear. He has fallen off the pace drastically, as now it looks like he is going to signal to come down pit road, or he's just that loose.
Kirk breaking out to 4/10 lead over Sinkowski. Back in 5th, Jeremy Brio, your stage 1 winner, now chasing down Mike Swink in the 18. Donald Ray, who's moved up 10 spots from the green flag flying. He's now chasing down Thomas Andrews for a top 6 position. Dan Roberts sitting 11th, waiting for that yellow flag to get that lucky dog, but Jason Warren just 1.5 seconds behind him, trying to chase him down for that lucky dog to get back into fighting contention.
Yeah, my biggest battle right here is watching this 74. He's starting to slice and dice through traffic. Every person he's passed, he has driven away from. Can he continue that trend? We're coming 10 laps to go to the end of stage number 2. How far up can he go? And is he going to stall at any time soon?
With 10 laps to go, you've just got to give it everything. Obviously, preservation is key. Don't wreck the car trying to get yourself a better finish, but give it everything you can. Top 4, nose to tail, single file. There you see Brio, actually 5th, excuse me, not top 4. Brio is 5th, chasing down the lap car of Ryan Pennell. 7/10 now between Trey Kirk and Alex Sinkowski.
Yeah, 24 is able to kind of keep this lead where he wants it. He's pulling away ever so slightly. I thought the 99 was going to get him there on the initial start, the first 10 to 15 laps of this run, but he has not been able to get closer than a half a second away. 24 is better on the long run. We saw that on the last run before the caution, Rick, and now he's really asserting some dominance in that 24.
Coming to 8 laps to go in the stage. There's Dan Roberts in that 30. There is Jason Warren, who's closed the gap to 7/10. These two drivers fighting for that lucky dog spot. Sam Roberts in the 15. He's to the inside of Jacob Fifield now. Both of these drivers fighting for 13th. And behind them, you've got the 30 and the 20 of John Hunnebrink side by side.
This is going to be key right here for the 32. If he's going to catch up to the 30 right now, this is his chance. He's side by side with the 20. That's a lead lap car. So the more they can get racy up here, the better the 32 sees in his front windshield. I've got a chance. I've got to capitalize. I can't make the mistake that I did on the previous caution of wrecking it in the center of the corner. What can he do? Can he get there? He's only got 5 laps to do it, Rick.
1.6 is now the gap between the 32 and the 11. Both of these cars 1 lap down. Then it's North Carolina's very own Ryan Pennell. He's now chasing down David Hoffman. Ryan sitting 13th, nowhere near the lucky dog position. Kenny Bellamy in the 37. He finds himself 16 laps down. He's fighting with the reigning champion, the 28 of Cody Pennell, who's now gone 17 laps down, and it's all gone belly up for the Blueberry Air Force Ford.
Yeah, it has absolutely gone belly up for both of them. Both Pennells are multiple laps down as we go. We have 2 people fighting for the lucky dog as we go, but the 24 is able to pull away, and he has continuously stretched this lead. Now he has a 0.6 of a second on the gap on P number 2.
There's the 32 of Jason Warren trying to get up to Dan Roberts. Stephen Downton now placed between them after Downton goes a lap down. So Roberts now has the luxury of the wedge of the 54 car between himself and the 32 of Jason Warren with 5 laps to go. Warren clears the 96, and it's 7/10 between D-Rob and JW in the 32. Behind him is that smoke coming from it. That's the 4 of Fifield. Hang on to her. Hang on to her. He backs it down, and another great save tonight. Wow, what a save from Fifield. He keeps it pushing, and D-Rob easily overtaken by Jason Warren now with 4 to go in stage 2.
Big check up by the 30. 32 is going to be in the free pass position as we sit right now. Man, incredible racing for the lead at times, and now incredible race for the free pass. Can the 32 stay in front, though? We've seen his car like to fall off as the run progresses. The 30, we haven't seen much of him here. This race is just even more incredible, Rick.
Fans at home, during this stage break, will take a 60-second break to keep the pre-rolls off and keep new viewers in the action as soon as possible, but you will not miss a single green flag lap of action. not only are we live here on twitch.tv/RickJamesTV, we're also live on YouTube. And that's James TV as well on YouTube. The 32 of Jason Warren looks like he's going to hang on to this one. White flag in this second stage. Trey Kirk leading by 0.7 of a second, and it's been nothing but control for this 24 car, Terry.
Yeah, 24 has just been an absolute cruise control mode. 99's been able to stay with him, but he's only been able to sit there about the 0.6 behind. I think the 99's might have a little bit of magic. We saw Elio Castroneves yesterday. He's sitting second for majority of the race, and then when it came money time, he made the money move. Can the 99 do it tonight and pass this Rainbow Warrior 24?
Jeremy Brio makes his way up to third in the number 74 car. He's going to get a bronze medal in stage 2 here and some excellent stage points. Another half lap for the 24 of Trey Kirk, and the gap now 1 second as he enters turn number 3. Really rim riding in that Rainbow Warrior Chevrolet, having to back out, but he will make it clean all the way to the end. Your stage 2 winner in the number 24, Trey Kirk. Excellent stage 2 there. Kirk, Simkowski, Brio, your top 3. Fans at home, 60-second break, and we'll be back for the green flag for stage number 3. Good race so far, Terry. You having a good time?
I'm always having a good time when I'm with you, Rick.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I'm just surprised with how good speed the 24's had. We didn't see him earlier in the race, Rick, but as the race progressed, we've just seen him make smaller and smaller adjustments. I don't know if he's messing with his brake bias at all, but we're just watching him progress and come into his own as the track starts to cool down.
One driver I want to talk to when we get back from break here is Mike Swink. He's moved up 9 spots since the start of the green flag. I want to see what secret he's found here, because we're going to have a little less than 100 laps to go in this race when we start stage number 3. But it seems like you just came out of nowhere. Some of these guys in the back, well, and granted, they're assisted with drivers like Ryan Pinnell, with Stephen Downton being trapped a lap down, and Jason Warren as well, who started in the top 2. But some of these guys just really making the most of this situation as well.
Yeah, they are making the most of the situation, but like I said, as the track starts to get faster, as the temperature cools down, the track likes to come in. And some of these guys have found something. I mean, we didn't see the 99. We didn't see the 24 really up front racing it. The 18's found himself up front. Here comes the 14. He's up 11 spots. The 9 is up 12. I mean, a lot of these guys have really starting to find something as the track starts to come in and rubber up. But now we're adding one of the fastest cars back on the lead lap, Rick. Can the 32 make some headway back to the front?
Can't wait to see what he does there. Let's talk to the driver of the 18, Michael Swink. Mike Swink, it's Rick and Terry in the booth. You got us?
It's loud and clear.
Mikey, great Air Force scheme on that number 18. We quoted the American poet Dwayne Carter Jr. saying, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna," because nobody saw you coming up from that 13th place starting position. You're now in the top 5 to start the 3rd period of action.
Yeah, this has been a race of attrition, that's for sure. I mean, setup is really loose and it's really tough in traffic. But, I mean, having a blast coming up through the field has been really fun.
What's been the secret? What do you know that nobody else does? Because you've been creeping towards the front, and now you've got a little more than 90 laps to get the job done.
Running the high line has actually helped out a bunch, especially when the tires get a little wear on them. If you move up 2 lanes up out of the low line, it's actually a whole lot more stable, and you can actually make a little time on some people.
We noticed Trey Kirk was up there on the high line as well. Terry said he was doing a great job rim riding up there. Terry, what else? What does Michael Swink need to do here? What do we think Michael Swink is going to be able to do here in this 3rd stage?
Man, I think you're going to be phenomenal. Just keep doing what you're doing. You have a beautiful race car. I mean, you have one of the best race cars and best paint schemes on the track. You're going to have to hope. You got the 74 next to you, buddy. He's fast. You think you can go up there and make some headway with that 24?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably just going to ride behind the 74. Me and him's pretty tight, so I'll probably just ride and try to get to the front, try to win this thing.
That's a good person to follow. Very proud of you, man. Go make some moves happen tonight.
Appreciate it.
One more thing, Mike, before we let you get back to go. Half a lap to green. What's your favorite breakfast food, partner?
Charms.
Lucky Charms. All right, there's one for the cereal, and I like it, buddy. Best of luck. You know what, Terry? He didn't say Raisin Bran.
He did not. I'm almost glad he didn't. If he would have said Raisin Bran, I might have had to back out myself.
You know, I think I just would have thrown him in the same boat as Alex Simkowski. And again, Alex Simkowski for that horrible attrition. We won't be hearing from him for the rest of the evening. I'll tell you what, it almost looks like the Jeff Burton car. You remember here, I think it was the late 90s, Jeff Burton scored a Coke 600 win in a car that looked identical, almost very, very similar to that. So maybe he's invoking a little bit of good luck out of the old Roush stable there in that number 99 Ford. Of all these paint schemes here, Terry, we've been so lucky to see so much great art here. Which one do you think is your favorite?
Well, I mean, I'm a big patriotic guy. I like what the 18 has. He's short and sweet and to the point. I don't see many Army cars out there. I saw the 9 had the camo on it. But I got to give a tip of the cap to the 18 and the 74. They're both just beautiful. I love the simplicity, the military appreciation, showing love to the country, but not having to go all out to do it. That's the one great thing I love about these paint schemes.
So much creativity here. Really, the trading paints community just goes hand in hand with the iRacing community, and it gives us a lot of good stuff to look at. I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of the season and how these paint schemes progress. Good news for fans of Cody Pennell. The defending champion is back out on the track, sitting in 17th, 26 laps down, but he will soldier on. Anything is possible in this race, Terry. Getting ready to get going on green here. 99 or 24, who you got out of the gates?
Well, that 24 is going to shoot off like a rocket. That guy has been on the mark since he took this lead, even since he got in the top 3. I think he's going to run for his life. That 74 is behind him, and he's bad fast.
2x2, 7 rows deep, getting ready to turn them loose one more time. Going to start the third stage, the money stage at Charlotte. Green flag is out, and we're racing again. Trey Kirk leads lap 1 of stage 3, Terry.
Yeah, 74, big battle for second. 74, 99 are side by side. They've been side by side for half of this lap here. 99's been able to wind it up on the outside. 74 is running the low line here. It's going to be a battle of attrition. Who wants to burn their tires off? 99's conserving, 74's not so much.
74 sticking to the inside. You see Trey Kirk rising high into turn number 4, but now the 74 of Brio to the inside of Simkowski. 108 laps underway and 93 to go at Charlotte. Drag race between these two. Mike Swink in the 18 running that high line like he told us he would. But Trey Kirk is running the high line at the end of the stage. Now on the inside, Terry, where's going to be the difference in tire management?
You got to run the middle to high line to really conserve your tires. The more you're on the bottom, the more you tear them up. I learned that very early in racing with turn down for what? Michael York actually taught me. If you touch that bottom, only touch it in qualifying. Don't touch it in the race unless you absolutely have to, because it's going to burn your stuff up. And I see these guys, the 99's wanting to block that 74 as much as possible. He is too fast to let him in front of you.
Chevy, Ford, Chevy, your top 3 coming to complete 109 laps at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James, joined by Terry Radford in the booth to bring you the season opener for Monday Night Lightning. It's Kirk, Simkowski, Brio, your top 3. That last time by Simkowski faster than the leader by over a quarter of a second, Terry.
Yeah, and along with the third place guy, Jeremy Brillant, he ran the exact same lap time as Alex. They're both right on top of one another. They're catching the 24, but it's one thing catching him. It's another thing passing him. Can they make it around the 24 as the laps progress?
There you see that last time by, Simkowski has been faster than Kirk for the last 6 laps. But if we dial it back to Brio in the draft has been slightly quicker than Simkowski. The gap just over 1/10 of a second. Now here comes Simkowski to the inside for the lead.
Simkowski's going to go down for the lead, but I don't think he's going to be able to make that stick. 24's up top. They're going to drag race it to the line. 99 gets a tad bit squirrely there, and 74 is going to jump to the outside. Battle for seconds heating up. Here comes the 74 for the rebound.
On the outside, it's the 74 of Jeremy Brio, your stage 1 winner. He's got the line on the high side. He's going to have the run down the back. Drag race into 3.
Drag race into 3, and this 99 is going to have to back up before the 18 gets in there and makes a run at him on the high side. 99 is going to try to slide up the track, get tucked right into the 74's draft to keep the 18 and the 9 from getting to his bumper and to his outside.
Seth Wanting with heavy blinking, and hopefully his internet connection doesn't take him out of this race. Just horrible connection from the 9 of Wanting, but now he's solid now. Wanting with a solid run, starting 20th, now up to 5th. It would be a terrible shame for his internet to let him down now, up 15 spots since the green flag flew.
And now a battle for the leads heating up. 74's caught the back end of the 24. He is going down. He's going to look to the low side. Drag race side by side for the lead as they go into 1. Here comes the 74. Back to the point at Charlotte.
Trey Kirk in second place. Now Jeremy Brio leading this one. Those last 6 laps compared to Trey Kirk. Brio faster every single time. Now here comes Simkowski. He's been chasing Kirk, and Simkowski, that's back to 4th, but Simkowski faster than Kirk for the last 6 laps. Trey Kirk now having to give up the position, and that just shows me there, Terry, that the draft from 3rd place really is setting up these drivers for good passing.
Absolutely. The guys in here that are riding behind these leaders, they're riding behind the fast guys, the 18, the 9. These guys have really starting to make some headway up to the front as they're catching lap traffic. They're going to give the courtesy and move. Oh, 30's going to block the 24 a little bit. He slides up the track. 24 is going to have to check up here.
Big wreck. You called it. You saw it coming. The 30 of Daniel Roberts impeding the 24 and the 99. Let's run this one back. Terry, what on earth is Daniel Roberts thinking impeding this 3-car fight for the lead? Look at this, 3 wide, the slower car on the inside. We're going to run it down. There you see D-Rob. And he's not even on the blue line. He's washing up the racetrack. The 24 of Kirk tries to avoid him. The 99 of Simkowski's up there. And watch this. It just goes wrong from here.
Not the right move on the 30's part. Just was about to get the free pass as well. And that just wiped 2 of the best cars all night out. Now they're going to have to go to the back of the field. Luckily, they are still moving to get onto pit road to make that fast repair if they have one, Rick.
Jeremy Brio now leading this race. He's got Michael Swink right behind him. Seth Wansing sitting in 3rd with those recent internet issues. And Daniel Roberts makes it through unscathed. But the 24 of Trey Kirk going to lose a lap, and the 99 of Al Simkowski, who are having a thrilling fight for second. Their race is effectively over unless the fast repair is still in effect. David Hawk now being scored as the leader in that number 21 car, but these positions will all shift around as drivers come down pit road. Fireworks to start stage 3, Terry.
I think the 99 was able to drive it around the track. He will not lose a lap there, but the 24's night, it looks to be necessarily over. He's going to need a caution and then another caution to put himself back on the same cycle as these leaders. He'll get the free pass, get to come pit, but he's also going to lose a lot of time right here. He might potentially go another lap down.
We'll have to see what happens after these stops all shuffle about. Fans at home are going to be ad-free for the next 7 minutes, 50 seconds, getting ready to close this race down. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Brio being scored as your leader. And Terry, if with these frequent cautions, we can expect a late race caution. When do you make the cutoff and decide, nope, I'm not coming down for tires? It is too late for that.
Oh, I think you have to come. I think the first green-white checkered, if it comes to a green-white checkered situation, if you don't pit, you're a fool. We saw last year in the Coke 600, Brad Keselowski stayed on the racetrack. Chase Elliott pitted. It's all going to depend. You don't have but 9 cars or 8 cars on the lead lap. You're not going to have the buffer that Brad K had last season. And now we only have 7 cars on the lead lap. So unless we get more of the field, it's not worth it. You're going to have to come get these tires.
74, 21, 14, your top 3, 118 laps underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Donald Ray sitting in 3rd, and his favorite cereal is Raisin Bran, so we're not going to dream of talking to him. Thomas Andrews sitting in 5th with that scraped up Miller Ford has been doing pretty good so far, considering that he's been in the thick of the action all night long. Let's bother the driver of the number 2 Miller Ford and see how his race is going. Tommy Andrews, Rick James, and Terry Radford in the booth. You got us?
Gotcha. How you doing, Rick?
Doing fantastic. You and the rest of your blue-collar racing team driving okay in these Fords, man. It's been an active evening for the flag man tonight. How is your car driving on these quickly wearing tires?
Not great. I mean, it was running really good stage 1 and 2, but kind of gotten a little tangled there with Cody. I feel really bad about it, but I really think Cody kind of got loose. And just, I don't know what else I could have done there, but kind of saving my fast repair, so I got a little bit of damage riding around here, just trying to stay on the lead lap and then be there at the end.
The 24, Trey Kirk, the 99, Al Castroneves, Simkowski, now getting caught up in some damage there with the 30 of Daniel Roberts also being a part of that accident too. A couple of the big players now out of your way. What's it going to take to get this Miller Ford in the front in the last 80 laps?
Well, you got to be there to you got to have a chance to win, so stay out of the accidents. That's kind of why I'm saving my fast repair, but also, I mean, you got to make the right adjustments. The track changes quick, so hopefully we can do that and we can put on a good show at the end of this race.
Half a lap to green, Tommy. What's your favorite breakfast food?
It's got to be cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Good answer. One of my favorite cereals as well. Best of luck, Tom.
3 now for cereal.
3 now for cereal. You gotta love it. You gotta love the cereal. The cereal crew. Yeah. What is your favorite? Because if we get niche about it, we can say favorite cereal. What is your favorite cereal?
Lucky Charms.
That's 2 for Lucky Charms tonight. I'm a fan of Lucky Charms myself, particularly Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've really been into Honey Nut Cheerios lately, but I'll go for Lucky Charms. That is a good one.
Those are really good for your heart. I just like Lucky Charms. I mean, it's the taste you can see.
A little bit of magic in that cereal, Terry. How about some more magic for racing? 81 to go, buddy. Let's turn them loose.
Yeah, it's about time 74 gets a massive jump here.
74 leading the way, the 30 of Daniel Roberts coming out of pit road. He's going to lose some more time here. 81 circuits remaining. David Hawk sitting in 2nd. The 9 of Seth Wansing blinking furiously, and we'll see if the stewards allow him to stay up in the top 5.
Yeah, he's blinking, but it seems like he only blinks when he's not up to speed. Now he's got to run on the outside of Donald Ray. He was able to complete that pass, pull him to P number 3. He's blinking some more, but it looks like it's slowing down ever so slightly. Big run. He's going to come for a challenge for P number 2, Rick.
David Hawk now sitting in 2nd. He's got that camo number 9 Napa Know-How Chevrolet was outside. The Mobile 1 Mustang chasing down the number 74. That's Wansing, who's scraping the wall out of 2. A potential right there. You can hear the sheet metal clashing. Wansing continues to blink. Hawk now to his inside.
Man, it's like kind of John Cena. We can't see him, but he's back here. He's at P number 2. He's chasing the leader down. Can the 9 make it up there? And hopefully nobody for the rest of the field can see him if he gets to the lead.
Half a second now, the gap between 1st and 2nd. Fewer than 80 laps to go in this Monday night Lightning season opener. Rio, Wansing, Hawk, your top 3. That last time by, Wansing running 2 1,000ths faster than the leader. He's got a toe headed into 3, Terry.
Yeah, big toe indeed for the 9 and the 74. He's got to run. Can he make it stick? He's going to jump to the outside here, think twice of it, go back behind him as they go into 174.9, is challenging hard for the lead.
Hawk watching along in third, coming into the second corner. That Chevrolet combo now pulling away from the 21. Donald Ray sitting in fourth. He's moved up 13 positions since the green flag flew, holding down the top 5. Mike Swink, who's been creeping up towards the field, finding himself in 5th. And look at this resurgence, Terry. John Honeybrink sitting 6th.
Yeah, John Honeybrink was able to make his way back up 9 spots from where he started in this race. But I'm still looking at this lead right here. The 9 is underneath the 74, side by side as they come off the exit 2. 9's going to get loose. 74 is going to get the run on the outside. Drag racing down the back straightaway into 3.
74, 9 high, low. Now the 9 washes up to the middle, trying to get a tow from the 74 out of 2. 125 laps now underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brio, who won Stage 1, still a long way to go to get that W, but the Stage 1 winner on top of the field.
I know who's praying for a caution right now. It's Ryan Pinnell in the 12. He has found his way into the free pass position, and now he's praying for a caution so he can get back on the lead lap and make some headway to the front. He has a fast hot rod underneath him, but the top 7 guys have pulled away.
Fifield in the 4 has collected somebody else. You just heard the sheet metal clang. What is Fifield doing? Fifield jumps to the pits immediately. Run this one back. Run this one back. Fifield in the 4 accelerates right onto the racing surface after spinning around by himself. There's Fifield in the 15. Contact there. Not sure what triggered that. Fifield pirouettes. He's going to come back down onto the racing surface, and watch this. He's going to accelerate back into traffic right up there, and it looks like he collects the 30 of Daniel Roberts. Fifield back in the pits. We stay green. D-Rob in the 30 running 10th. That could have been ugly.
That could have been ugly indeed. Made contact with the 15 of Samuel Roberts. He made slight contact with that young man, but yeah, he goes straight to the pits, and I think his night is over as we sit here right now. Battle for the lead is still heating up as the 74 and 9 are still right next to one another.
73 laps to go. Pit stops coming soon. These drivers have got to get some tires on these ill-handling race cars. They will not last long. Brio now to the high side. He's trying to pull away from Wansing. Brio did say that the high side would work for him, as did the 18 of Michael Swink and the 24 of Trey Kirk, who unfortunately finds himself in 13th after that most recent caution. Al Simkowski, the position ahead, in 12th. Terry, the 9 of Wansing, not caring about tire conservation at this point. Do you think it's something he has to have in his head, knowing we've got at least 2 more green flag stops to the end?
Absolutely, but I think what he sees right now is he sees the fastest car on the track who's had to drive from the back, be a lap down, get a free pass, and then drive back to the front. He knows that there could potentially be 1 more or 2 more cautions in this race. We have seen maybe 20 to 25 laps green flag, and then we see a caution come out. The 9 is going, I'm hoping that a caution comes out because he has wore the good off of these tires, and now the 74 is going to be in cruise control mode as the 9 starts to slip back.
There's Brio, who's been driving faster than Wansing for the last 6 laps now, but Wansing matching him lap for lap. That last time, Brio 1/10 quicker. Wansing using the draft to stay right behind him. Keep your eye on the bottom right and see if Wansing gets any closer. Roberts now to the high side in car number 30, staying out of the way of the leaders this time by 131 laps underway in Charlotte. That last time by, Brio still quicker, but Wansing getting closer.
Yeah, Brio is a whole lot, a little bit faster here. But now in the last lap we had here, we ran a 29.75 with the leader and a 29.73 as the Wansing's doing. He's catching a tad bit of the draft here, but he's not fast enough to get up there and pass him, Rick.
Big shout out to Repeat 1975, who just recently joined the chat. Glad to have you here, boss. 69 laps to go, and what a nice race it's been so far. Brio, Wansing, Ray, your top 3 that last time by. Wansing just 8/100ths slower, but if we bring up the time delta once again, you can see Brio closer every single lap for the last 6+ laps. The gap 1.8 tenths and closing now. Wansing still on that inside, Terry. He is still caning it.
He is absolutely caning it. He saved the best for last, but can he make the pass? That's going to be the biggest key. He's running a different line. He's getting air on the nose. He's doing everything right except for making the pass on the 74. Clint Boyer said it last night. It's one thing catching that car, but it's another thing getting under him and making the pass.
That last time by, 30.52 seconds. Both of these cars identical. Watch the right-hand side as Wansing blinks out of 4. 74, 914. Donald Ray, the only Ford in the top 3 across the line. 30.58 to the leader, 30.66 to Wansing. The tires starting to show their age.
Yeah, they absolutely are showing their age, and they're falling off. We have fell dramatically since the first lap on these tires, but the top 2 leaders, they are not slowing down at all. They are absolutely pulling away. They are 0.2 faster than 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the 9 is burning them up on the bottom.
9 catching up. Donald Ray sitting in 3rd. He's almost 2 seconds behind this battle for 1st place. Wansing, if anything, should be staying behind the 74 to conserve tires and fuel, but he has good control of that race car. It'll be 65 to go this time by. John Honeybrink, he's bringing up the top 5. He's got the 24 of Trey Kirk behind him, who is on a mission. Kirk finds himself 14 laps down. Jonathan Fifield in the 4, who almost brought out the most recent caution, being scored out in 11th place. He'll soon drop through this field. Ryan Pennell, the last car on the lead lap, has been on a mission since the restart, waiting for that caution and to get that lucky dog. And Terry, I'll tell you what, since that first yellow flag came out in stage 1 and those drivers got trapped a lap down, they have not recovered since.
No, that was a big critical moment in this race, is when people start getting trapped a lap down here at Charlotte. It's hard to get it back. Everybody's so, I wouldn't say equal, but they're just as equal. And once you go that first lap down, you're in survival mode at that moment. You want to get up there, you want to race with people, and that's how you get trapped in these accidents. We've seen people like Kurt, people like Pennell, all of these fast cars that was up front, Warren, Longenecker, all these guys that was up there, they fell back and they haven't recovered. Now they're multiple laps down.
Donald Ray in the 3rd position. Back to David Hawk. He has just been waxing Hawk on the lap times. 10ths quicker that time by. And look at this to Wansing. Donald Ray has been losing time to Seth Wansing. 2.2 is the gap, but there it is back to Hawk. Ray has just been waxing him recently, but he can't shake David Hawk. Ray has been driving a blinder. He's up 14 spots since the green flag flew.
Yeah, 14's been on a mission, Rick, but the mission's not over. 2 more positions he needs to gain to close the deal, win this race, and not say all was lost. All 3 guys have been up plus 10 positions since they started this race. 11, 18, and 14. Surprising, to say the least, here tonight.
It's been a bit of luck, but it also has to be just grand skill. The number 14 of Donald Ray rocking that amazing Memorial Day paint scheme. Big shout out to all of our veterans at home and abroad watching this race from right next to me. Terry Radford for his service in the Army in Korea. Repeat 1975, his Air Force service, and everybody that we know. Thank you so much. This Memorial Day race is for you. What a way to get it started. Brio now just pulling away with this, almost a half second between him and Wansing.
Yeah, the 9 burned his stuff up, but he's starting to close ever so slightly. Every time they go through the center of the corner, he's able to gain, but when they get on the straightaway, he loses time. This is the big thing. He's lost the draft. 74 just bobbled just a tad bit. Let him close in, but now he's regained himself, Rick, and he's starting to pull away even further.
Wansing closing in 1/100th at a time now, 4/10ths and falling. Michael Swink in the 18, who found himself in the top 5. He's now falling behind John Honeybrink in that 20 car. Thomas Andrews, before that restart, seemed confident, but he's also been dialing it back a bit. Do you think this could be conservation, Terry?
It's going to have to be conservation at its finest. They need to stretch this tire run and this fuel run all the way to the end, so they only have to make one more pit stop. If they can go about 14 more laps, they should be able to do it in one stop. If they pit now, they're going to be short.
Just over 50 laps to go, almost a halfway in this final money stage. Brio, Wansing, Ray, still your top three. Thomas Andrews, the last car on the lead lap with Ryan Pennell, trying to get one of his laps back. And Pennell has a cushion, Terry, because he is the only car one lap down. If the yellow flag does fly, he doesn't have to contest to get his lap back.
Yeah, but this is one of the times where you don't get a caution. You find yourself that lone guy one lap down and the caution never comes out. But they are catching the 7th place guy. 9 almost lost it off the exit of 4. That almost was a huge break for Ryan Pennell.
Ryan Pennell in that 12 car, holding his own, waiting for a yellow flag. Here's Seth Wanting, who's losing ground. Now the 30 of Daniel Roberts to the outside of Jeremy Brio. Wanting now has to manage his way around the 30 of D-Rob, and Rob won't get in his way this time. The 9 of Wanting just preserving his tires at this point. Donald Ray in the 14. Let's take a look at the deltas this time around, Terry, see how he's been performing. That's back to Hawk. Here's up to Wansing. And Wansing has been just out-lapping Ray, despite the fact that Wansing has internet connection issues. What a drive from the driver of this 9 car.
Yeah, this 9 has definitely put on a show. He's been able, even through the connection issues. But I tell you the one thing I'm watching. We talked to the guy in the 2 car.
30's in the wall. No, that's the 15, excuse me. That's the 15 of Sam Roberts. It's in the wall, Terry. Sorry to cut you off. He seems to be getting a hold of his race car now. Here comes the 30 of Daniel Roberts. Samuel Roberts scraping along the wall. The 30 goes around. What's wrong with the 15?
Oh, 15 just looks like he's loose. He's really loose. He has damage as well. So I'm glad that didn't bring out a caution, but Ryan Pennell is probably upset that didn't bring one out. The leader has caught him again. Oh, no, that's the 24. Man, I thought the 24 was the leader. He's got no hood.
The 30 and the 15 both sour. Here goes the 15 right in front of the 30. Look at these two. They were going around for one lap. You saw the 30 slow purposefully. There's no... Caution number 8 is out on the racetrack. The 30 car flies around the 15 as the 15 scrapes the wall out of turn 4. And matter of fact, we're going to run this one back. Run this one back. And Terry, I want you to explain what happened between the 30 and the 15. Let's run this one back almost an entire lap here. Coming into 3. We're going to pause it. We're going to pause it right here. I apologize. Here's Samuel Roberts in the middle of the backstretch. Daniel Roberts is somewhat behind them. To bring out the chopper view right here, let's take a look and let's see exactly what happened. Here's Dan Roberts. Here's Samuel Roberts slightly ahead. We're going to speed ahead. Roberts is going to scrape the wall in turn 3. Now he's slow. Here comes Daniel Roberts right here. Roberts is coming to overtake him, And matter of fact, let's get in the cockpit view right here. Listen to the engine note of the 30 car. Watch the RPMs. There he is backing it down. You can hear the engine note go sour. Slowing down incredibly hard. Now here's the 15 to overtake him. Watch the 15 of Samuel Roberts. Let's go to the cockpit view of Sam Roberts and take a look at these hands. Trey Kirk goes by. Roberts jerks it left and to the right. Here's Daniel Roberts who turns left. Watch the hands on Daniel Roberts. Daniel Roberts is going to turn left into the 15 of Samuel Roberts as he's crashing. Watch right here. There's the jerk left into the 15. There's the 30 into the wall. Now,
yeah,
Terry, it's not our job to make any conclusions of what happened, but it's only our job to present the images of what just transpired.
Well, I mean, I don't want to ruffle any feathers here, but it looks to me as if the 15 got a little loose, and as the moment he sees the 15 going around, the 30 just drove down into him. I mean, like I said, I'm calling it from the cockpit view. I'm watching it right now, real time, as we're seeing it. And as I go back and try to replay what's going on and going through my head, this reminds me of the Clint Boyer situation at Richmond. You need a caution. you're into that. The people are over the radio are losing their minds. I'm actually going to go unmute them so I can hear what they are saying. There is a lot of unhappy customers. Nobody seems happy.
We're going to let these drivers sort it out here. Fans, we're going to take a 60-second break while we get all this sorted out. Caution number 8 is out at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the season opener of Monday Night Lightning. Fans at home, if you can still hear us, you are a subscriber to Rick James TV. Thank you so very, very much. Your subscriptions literally make these broadcasts possible. Terry and I could not be up here enjoying the show so far. Terry, Bud, it's going to be 150 lap shootout to the end. Well, more of a shootout than kind of 2 shootouts put together, but now we can feel it. We're in the last 25% of this race. Who do you got? Can you make a call this early?
74, absolutely. 74 has his hands down. Unless he makes a mistake, Ryan Pennell's getting the free pass here. He's going to be the lucky dog, going to get back on the lead lap. He is going to need a caution. He'll have to start tail end Charlie of this field to get himself regained. I think the 74 has this win in the bag unless he gets taken out or he makes a mistake on his own.
As anything is certain in racing, Terry, my friend, the 74 of Brio, who won stage 1, he's been up towards the front all night long. What's good, and if not to jinx the 74 of Brio, because we get really good at that, but what, if anything, is going to stop him from doing this? The 9 of Wansing's been quick. Honeybrink has now moved into the 3rd position. Thomas Andrews back in the top 5, and you can't sleep on Donald Ray in the 14. But now, the 12 of Ryan Pennell got that yellow flag. He does find himself 2 laps down. We'll see exactly if he goes 1 lap down or he gets back on the lead lap here. But if it's 7 or 8 cars with 50 or less laps to go here, Terry, we could potentially see this be a one-stop race to the end, depending on tire management.
Yeah, I just think the 74 has been all around good. He was good on the long run. Short run, not so much. He's kind of had a little bit of a challenge. The 9 we saw was good on the short run. He was up right next to him. He was able to stay on the back bumper. I would just think that the 74 is going to be able to do it. I haven't seen much of any other person other than the 32 that was able to really give him a run for his money.
Lights are out on the pace truck, and we're going to get running here one more time. So it's going to be Jeremy Brio and Seth Wansing, a Chevrolet lockout of row number 1. We're going to have 3 Chevys in the top 4 with Mike Swink in the 18 restarting 4th. Connecticut's very own Thomas Andrews restarting 5th. And the choose cone rule has spoken, Terry. Almost everybody wants the inside line when we go green.
Yes, that was very surprising. I would have thought that people would have wanted to take the outside on the restart because you get a better run. You get the momentum of these cars. You want them as wound up as possible. But the 74 dives down low. The 20 is up here as well. Jonathan, I'm going to mispronounce his last name, Honbrink. Yeah, he's back here. First Toyota I've seen all race. And so he finds himself in the closing laps up front.
We'll see how they decide to do this when it's going to be 49 laps to go when we throw the flag. Jeremy Brio on the inside. He's the control car. He's got the jump. He moves, and we're racing again. 49 to go in the season opener. Great start by Honeybrink, Terry. He's sitting in 2nd.
Yeah, huge jump. That was the momentum of the bottom line. He was able to have the control car right in front of him. So the moment he got on the gas, he was able to go with him. 9 finds himself back in P number 3. 18 finds himself in 4. 2, I believe, used his fast repair right there. So we should see what speed he has in that deuce.
He said in his interview he was saving that fast repair for the end. He's got Ryan Pennell right behind him, who is 2 laps down. But look at Pennell now move to the inside of that Penske car. Now to the inside of Swink and the North Carolina Charlotte native. He wants to be king in the Queen City. Dipping 2 tires under that blue line. He's determined to get a lap back.
He needs that. We thought he was only 1 lap down, but for some reason he was 2 when the caution came out. They passed him under the caution, put him another lap down. 74 is able to run that high line. 9's going to go under the 20 here for the battle for second. 20's going to clear him. 74 is trying to scoot away from him as quickly as possible.
Both the 15 and the 30 still down pit road getting their repairs. We'll see what the stewards say at the end of this race. Seth Wansing now to the inside of John Honeybrink. He's working on Brio. Chevy, Toyota, your top three. 154 laps completed this time by.
Man, that 9 car has a blistering amount of speed under him. He's able to carry a lot of speed through the center of the corner, but is he going to burn the tires up like he did in the last run? He wasn't able to conserve as much because he was trying to chase the 74 down. He has him closer in his sights now. Can he make the pass early and try to hold the 74 off?
155 underway of the scheduled 200. That last time by Wansing, 2 tenths faster than Brio. Pennell to the inside of Honeybrink, third car in line. He's the next car to get the lucky dog. The 74 has had massive control of this race. If you're the 74, Terry, do you let Swanson by and do you let him burn up his stuff, or do you keep playing the role of repair where he has to chase you?
Oh man, I'm doing what the 74's doing. I'm gonna sit there and let him burn all of his stuff up. Just sit there and conserve. Let him stay in your tire tracks for a couple laps. Let him go to the bottom. Let him do whatever he's got to do to burn the tires off. The 12 of Ryan Pennell is making a run to get a lap back right now. He's sitting right there in the 3rd spot on the racetrack, and he's going into the 9-4 Pete. Well, for technically 2nd on the track.
74 leading. Here comes Ryan Pennell trying to force his way back to this race, and if anything, these leaders should let that 12 car go. No sense in racing a car that's 2 laps down, Terry.
Yeah, but this right here is key. Look at the 74. He sees them side by side. He's stepping on it a little bit more. This time by, he's going to come out. He's well faster than the guys behind him. So while they're racing the lap down car, he's pulling away.
Those last 6 laps, Jeremy Brio quicker than Wansing. If we go to Thomas Andrews slower than Seth Wansing, but now John Honeybrink sitting in 4th. He's been quicker than Andrews, so Thomas Andrews being sandwiched by 2 cars that are faster than he. This time around, Wansing has draft from 2 cars. He's closing the gap to Brio up ahead.
Yeah, he's racing with Ryan Pennell, and it's the same thing he brought up a while ago. Let the lap down car go by. He's already 2 down. Now he's down 1. Here comes the 9. He's making a run. He's got the 2 car right there. Thomas Andrews did what he said he was going to do. Fast repair, be there at the end, and he is there. P number 3 for the deuce.
41 laps to go this time by, and it's just fantastic that the 74 and the 2 cannot outrun the 9 with the 9 of Wansing using that low line, but now the 9 of Wansing adopts the high line. Andrews behind him on the low line, sitting in 5th. Michael Swink, car number 18, who's up 8 spots since the green flag flew. 2.3 seconds ahead of Donald Ray. And now that last time by, as you can see, Wansing blinking in front of Andrews. Not good in these final 40 laps. Last time by, Wansing quicker by a full 10th. This time by, Wansing still quicker by a 10th, but his internet connection unstable, Terry.
Yeah, let's get him over the radio to please stay high. Don't run the low line. You see the guys behind him running the bottom. That is purposely. They're running the low line to stay out of the blinking car's way. They don't want to make incidental contact and ruin their race with 40 to go.
39 this time by. There goes the 2 of Andrews, loose out of 4, trying to save it. Bunny hopping, mowing that Charlotte lawn. Another big jump. 4 wheels into the air. Andrews saves it, and that's got to be the 3rd glove save in the Stanley Cup Finals we've seen tonight. Just unbelievable control by Connecticut's Thomas Andrews. He's going to lose the fight for 3rd, but man, that was good drive. Heads up play by Thomas Andrews.
That will definitely go on the highlight reel at the end of this race, and he's probably going to preserve that in Twitter world. That was an incredible save by the 2, but now the battle for the lead's heating back up. Here comes the 9. Here comes the 20. 3 cars under a blanket for the lead with a lap car in front of them.
Top 2 separated by 0.2 of a second. The top 3 separated by less than half a second. Thomas Andrews still in 4th. fourth. He's got 2.3 seconds on Michael Swink behind him. Between Swink and Ray, the gap is now 1.1 seconds. Donald Ray getting closer. Nashville's David Hawk sitting in seventh, just ahead of Ryan Pennell by 50-ish seconds, as Ryan finds himself more than a lap down. But Pennell and Kirk separated by minutes, and Trey Kirk, who was once dominating this race, winning stage 2, scrapes the outside of the turn 4 wall, but Kirk soldiers on in the 9th position. Back to the front, Terry, and Honeybrink is now in second.
Yeah, the 9 car lost it off the exit of 4, slid through the grass, saved it, kept himself in third, and now he's starting to close back in on the lead. He fell to about 1.2. He's 0.8 as we speak right now. He's making his way back up there, but how long is the 74 going to trail behind the 12? We've seen him get to his back bumper. Is that going to be the reason he loses the race? He's getting a toe off the 12 to kind of pull himself away from the 20, but it's half a second for the lead.
Alex Simkowski now coming down pit road, smoke coming up ahead. That's the 12 of Pennell who gets loose, but he saves it a bit. Now Brio doesn't have the toe from the 12. That last time by, all those laps, Honeybrink was slower than Brio by quite some distance, but now Wansing, who's behind Honeybrink, look at them split this delta. 3 laps to Wansing, 3 laps to Honeybrink. The 12 no longer a factor as they get around the lapped car. Back to Brio, and if we show the delta here, he is just waxing this field. Biggest lead since stage 2.
Yeah, biggest lead since stage 2, but incredible drive and rebound by the 9. He's up 17 positions since the green flag has dropped in this race. He slid off the exit of 4, burned the tires up just a little bit, but he's fighting again for P number 2. He's on the back bumper of Jonathan Honeybrink, and he's looking for one spot better. 74 stepped away, 2-second lead as we are here.
Coming to lap 168, and now you can just assume that these drivers will only take one more pit stop to go that distance. 2.25 seconds now between Jeremy Brio and John Honeybrink, with Seth Wansing right behind them. Now Wansing to the inside for secondary.
Yeah, side-by-side turns 1 and 2 coming off the exit here on the backstretch. 9 car gets a little bit loose, but he's able to save it, collect it, drag race down into 3, Rick.
Wansing with the advantage into 3. It's that camo Army colors on the inside of the Air Force color, the Navy colors, excuse me. Hard to get these camo patterns right, but Honeybrink hangs on. 169 laps underway. Brio pulling away by over 3 seconds now to these two.
Yeah, 3-second lead by the 74. The only thing that can beat him right now is a caution in himself. He has stepped away tremendously. He's gaining almost 5/10 of a second a lap. He is pulling away from this field. Coming off here, one more lap down, 4-second lead on to second.
Unbelievable run, but these two side by side not helping their situation. You saw the 12 of Ryan Pennell coming down pit road after making some contact with the wall. He's gonna have to get some fresh batteries and get going one more time, because he does not have a lot of time to waste if he intends on getting back into top 5 contention. Brio 4 1/3 seconds, and Brio must just be giving it everything with a pit stop coming soon. Trey Kirk is also in.
Oh, 20 almost lost it right there off the exit of 4. He was able to save it. Honeybrink, he's about to get caught by the 2. They're coming fast. The 20 just absolutely had the most incredible save of the night right there.
No room for any mistakes in the final 30 laps at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been a night of fireworks so far, but we've only got 30 more laps to go the distance. One-Handed Baron says, love watching your streams. I love having you here, Baron. Thank you so much. Warp Lotus says it was a bit much. Warp Lotus says the 15 got loose and was on the apron. The 30 came right down on them and took them both out. Warp Lotus talking about Samuel Roberts in the 15, Daniel Roberts in the 30, respectively. And we'll go back to a replay here if we have time, but we'll let the stewards sort that one out. Jeremy Brio 4.2 seconds ahead of Seth Wansing, Terry.
Yeah, 20's coming down pit road right now as he just let the 2 go by of Thomas Andrews. Listening to their radios, these guys are fighting a very, very loose car. Every single one of them are screaming, it is so loose out here, I can barely drive it. Wansing's starting to chop in on that lead, though. The 9 got back to P number 2, and he's starting to close in just a little bit. It was 4 seconds. Now it is going down to 3.7 seconds.
27 laps to go this time by. Wansing starting to close that gap. The last time by, Wansing was more than 0.3 quicker. Terry, I'm thinking Brio was just burning those tires right before a pit stop. We'll bring up the delta one more time. There you see Brio so much quicker than Wansing that time around. But if we take it to Wansing's delta, we'll show that here. Wansing a lot quicker than Donald Ray, so he's getting closer. He's getting further away from Ray, but keep your eye here. Let's see if Wansing gains any time on this Delta 174. .25 to go next time by, Terry, and the gap is closing now. 3.75 is the gap between Brio and Wansing.
Yeah, the gap is starting to close, but as the pit stops come, you can see it. 26 laps to go. Coming to 25 here. Whoever makes the pit stop first. If I was the 9 car, I'm coming down pit road now. It looks like the 74 is pitting. Stay out. Stay out the lap. Stay out and take the lead. Pray for a caution, 9.
Crew chief making those audibles right there with a quarter remaining in the season opener. The KC masterpiece from Southern Kansas City. Internet issues plaguing him all night. That last time by, he was half a second quicker than Andrews behind him. Brio now down pit road, making what he hopes will be his final pit stop. Crew chief, 25 to go. If a late race caution comes out now, when is the cutoff for tires?
Never. Tires, tires, tires. I want 4 tires. I don't care what lap it is. You have 7 cars on the lead lap. I want tires and I want fuel. Packer, let's go. Let's run the distance. Actually, to be real with you, no fuel, just tires. I want the most grip as possible. Now they're praying for the caution. 3 cars on the lead lap, and it looks like the 9's coming in this time, Rick.
Seth Wansing slowing down the tower, now showing fastest lap times all night long. And you can see Wansing has had the one of the quickest times all evening with a 29.73. Ryan Pinnell with a 29.66. The only driver to beat him, so Wansing has really been on his game tonight, and this is the money stop. 23 to go. Thomas Andrews, new leader at Charlotte. And Terry, if it comes down to fuel mileage, bet on the 2.
I'm betting on the 2 and the 9 right now. 21's out there as well. Here's the one thing that I'm looking at. The 9 and the 2 and the 21 are staying out much further than the 74. They're banking either on a caution or this going green to the end. If it goes green to the end, they have the fresher tires later on. The 74 is burning his stuff up right this second. I can almost guarantee you he's burning them up. Every single lap that goes on it, he's going to take this lead, and they're going to lose a lot of time to him. They're losing a metric amount of time to him. But when they come back on the track, then they can go wide open all the way to the end. As the 2's going loose.
There's Thomas Andrews who's losing it. There you see David Hawk has been quicker than him by 1/10 of a second. There's Hawk who's quicker again this time by. The gap now closing from 4.3 seconds.
I thought the 2 was going to be the reason for the caution right there, and it would have trapped a lot of good people a lap down, and nobody would have got the wave around. The 74 would have stayed out on the racetrack. Now that the 74 is back on the lead lap, the caution game is out the window. The free pass would go away. It would go to Seth Wansing. He would be the free pass. So these guys are playing the caution game, hoping that one comes out, but if one comes out, 4 cars will be on the lead lap at the end of this one.
Andrews, Hawk, Brio, your top 3 fastest times of the night. Let's show you the most recent times now on the board. These drivers have just been besting each other lap after lap. Wansing now shoots to the inside of Andrews that last time by. Seth putting up 30-20. Andrews 32-45. And there you see the sectors again. Hawk faster in the first half of the lap, chasing down Andrews. Hawk now in pit road, actually. There is David Hawk down pit road. Jeremy Brio now in third. Back to Seth Wansing. Watch for this Wansing. 3/10 quicker that time around.
He's coming. He's coming, Rick. The tire game was played perfectly by the 9. But now the question is going to be, how much time did the 9 gain on the 74 when they had pit entry and pit exit? That's the biggest question of the night so far. If we stay green, 18 to go, can the 9 make his way to the 74? And will the tires be good enough by then? Are they going to equal out by the time he catches him? But he's 7 seconds back.
The 14 of Donald Ray coming down pit road. Seth Wansing 6.5 seconds, but take a look at the sector time. Wansing almost 2/10 quicker, now just 1.1 quicker in the second half of that lap. Brio will put in a time in the first half. 15:17 for Brio. Where will Wansing come through? 1.5 tenths quicker that time, Terry. Let's see if Wansing can improve on the second half.
And this has been one of those things right here where now it's about conservation. Now for the 2. The 2 staying out as long as he possibly can. He's going to play this fuel mileage game. He has a gap of 17 seconds. He doesn't have to really worry about nothing. He's not going to save all this fuel. But if a caution was to come out right at this moment, Rick, this race goes upside down, and the 2 played it perfectly.
You can see from bottom to
He's wrecking.
The 2 loose. Whoa, goodness me, he saved that so hard. Possibly signaling his intent to come down pit road. Sour note on the 2. He could be coming in, but from bottom to top, from 179 to 184, the 2 is in. The 2 is in. Brio has been catching him up lap after lap. The 2 car is in. Now here's Brio coming to 15 laps to go in the season opener.
About gave me a heart attack right there. I thought the 2 was going to lose it completely, and that would have been heartbreaking for him. Would have been like Dale Jr. at the end of the Coke 600 when he was a couple gas short of this race. Now the battle is on. 5 seconds separates 1 and 2, and the 9 is closing. Every single corner, he is closing. I'm watching it drop. 5.7 down to 5.6. We have 15 to go, Rick. Coming to 14. This is going to get good.
Bringing up the delta one more time. Jeremy Brio has been quicker than Seth Wansing, but it is dwindling between 181 and 186. Wansing has been slightly quicker, and there it is. The graph getting shorter towards the top means that Wansing is getting faster than Brio. To show the sectors now. 15:26 for Brio in the first half of the track. Wansing slower by 1/10. Now to take a look, lucky number 13 laps to go. This time by Brio. 15:24 in the second half of the track. Wansing slower by 9/1,000. So Brio seems to have control of this with 12.5 to go, Terry.
The tire game has managed. They balanced out. They have equal game now. Now the 74 just has to do is just pace himself. You don't have to be too fast. You don't have to go run qualifiers. We see his last lap speed, 30.5 to a 30.6. Donald Ray at a 30.4. He's catching, but he's not in the ball game yet. He's 10 seconds behind the lead, 5 seconds behind second place.
There you see the last 2 laps. Brio has been quicker than Wansing. Wansing, who's been giving everything to his tires, trying to get a victory. Wansing quicker than Ray in every sense, but trying to catch up to Jeremy Brio, who's been quicker over the last 2 laps. Double hockey sticks on the board, Terry. 11 to go.
11 to go, and the only person on this track not wanting a caution is the leader. I know the 9, the 14, and the 21, and the 2 all are begging and pleading for a caution to happen, but it looks as if they have been too strung out for this to go. Here comes the 74 coming around. He's going to see 10 laps to go, Rick, and his lead is staying consistent and growing now. It is 6 seconds now to second.
What's happened to Wansing? Wansing now trapped behind Jonathan Honeybrink, who's going a lap down. Honeybrink sitting 5th, 1 lap down, and that leaves 4 cars on this lead lap. Brio, Winston, Ray, and Hawk with 10 laps to go. A yellow flag now will ruin so many plans, but it is now Jeremy Brio's race to lose, Terry.
It is absolutely his race to lose. The 2 is starting to catch the 74. He has fresher tires. The 2 of Thomas Andrews is making a run back up there to get back on the lead lap. And then the 2 is going to pray for a caution. If the 2 was to get one, he's back in the race. 9 laps to go, Rick.
Moldy Muskrat says Seth is going to need more time. He's going to need more tires. He just doesn't have the Goodyears to close that gap. But Brio pitted 1 lap before Winston. Brio now using that high line, trying to conserve tires. We've seen that 74 steady as a rock all night long. Where could Brio lose it, Terry?
Oh man, I don't know. He just looks so sturdy right now. Every single corner, he's able to run a perfect line around this track. He's staying above the seam. That's the biggest key here at Charlotte. Is don't get on those seams. The track has cooled down. It's not as slick as it was earlier in the race. Now all the 74 has to do is just back it down as much as possible. Gap has gone down to 5.2 seconds. That's a perfect consistency.
There you see between 187 and 190, Brio faster than Winston. Winston now much faster that last lap. The gap fewer than 5 seconds with 7 to go. Brio just driving a little easier now. He can taste the victory in the Season 2 season opener. 6 to go this time.
6 laps to go when they come across this line. The 74 is out there. He's gone. 4.8 seconds now. Seth is starting to come back up. He's cooled his tires down. He's making a run for it, but I think a little too late. I think he should have. That would have been something to do a lot earlier. They're praying for a caution. Hope it doesn't come out. The 2's begging for it. The 2 wants to see a caution come out.
Brio driving easy now, but he has to be careful that it's not too easy. Coming up on lap traffic in 3, they need to get out of his way.
Yeah, I think the 74 right now is probably getting on the radio, hoping that every lap car gets out of his way. He's racing for the season opener and the win. He's racing on the back bumper of his car. He has in memory of a United States Army veteran who lost his life, and they're celebrating him today. What a fitting tribute for him to have him on the car and potentially get a win here at Charlotte.
What a great way to celebrate Memorial Day Monday. 4 to go this time by Jeremy Brio, doing a sensational job, winning the first stage. He's been piloting that number 74 Chevy at the front of this all night long. He's got another 4 laps to hang on. Seth Winston, on the other hand, trying to hold on to that silver medal position. Arkansas's Donald Ray in 3rd. Thomas Andrews quickly closing him up. David Hawk now just half a second behind Thomas Andrews, Terry, coming to 3 to go. Next time by, here's a battle for 4th.
Yeah, battle for 4th is heating up big time here. Guy had to jump out there. They got their lap back, and now the 2's on fresher tires. But here comes the 21. He's jumping up there. He's making a move forward as well. 21 looks like he's a lot smoother there as they both got around the leader.
2 to go.
But the leader is there.
There is the leader right there. He can see these 2 cars that are battling for 4th ahead of him. It's going to be 2 laps to go this time by. Just 3 more miles for Jeremy Brio. He's got a little bit of lap traffic ahead. We'll get 3 green-white checkered attempts, but if the yellow flag does not come out by the next time the 74 crosses the line, it's an official race. 54
Lap cars move out of his way.
They do get out of his way. Very good tip of the cap to 54 and the 12, Downton and Pinnell respectively. 1.5 more miles. What a run by Brio, Terry.
What a run by Brio indeed. Incredible run by the 74. He has been phenomenal around this racetrack. 1.5 miles to go as he exits turn number 4. White flags in the air. 1 to go here at Charlotte.
1.5 more miles in this race. Memorial Day Monday. What a day it's been for each of these drivers, giving everything they've got, honoring America, honoring our military with these special liveries. 74 in front and another half mile to the line. The season opener in Monday Night Lightning will go to the 74 of Jeremy Brio, your Stage 1 winner, your Stage 3 winner. He's got the checkered at Charlotte. Wanting will hold on for second. Donald Ray will hold on for the third position. David Hawks in fourth. Thomas Andrews. David Hawk got around Thomas Andrews. Terry, I didn't even see that. Here comes the 21 who got around the 2 of Tom, who's wrecked. Terry, the 2 of Thomas Andrews, has wrecked out of turn number 2, and it looks like the tires just won't hang on, and Thomas Andrews now appears to be stuck or pinned on that wall. Checkered flag flies, and the number 74 carrying those U.S. Army colors. Jeremy Brio's going to burn the house down.
Yeah, beautiful burnout there. He has the memory of a United States Army vet. What a way to do it. What a burnout he's putting on the show here, too.
Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 interviews shortly. Jeremy Brio, Seth Wansing, Donald Ray will join us in the booth. But what a way to start the season. The longest race of the season. These 300 miles, man. Terry, what a drive. Brio celebrates by blowing up the engine. We'll be back in just a moment. Back with our top 3 in the first Victory Lane podium interviews for season 2 of Monday Night Lightning. Let's talk to Arkansas Donald Ray, Jacket, as he's also known around the garage. Donald, great run tonight. You start the season with a bronze medal.
Yeah, man, I was not expecting that after getting caught up in that accident in lap 2. End up going 2 laps down. Took a gamble and stayed out. Took a wave around to get 1 lap down, then got lucky and made my way back up there to the lucky dog position. Caution came out with 5 laps of fuel remaining. Got the lucky dog and just stayed patient from then on in. I mean, I didn't have a fast repair, so I just had to stay clean and patient and just hope the field came back to me, and it just happened to work out.
Patience paid off, and now you're going to carry a bronze medal next week into Sonoma. Congratulations on third, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Terry, you've got our silver medalist.
Seth, man, what an incredible run you had there. A little too short at the end. Did you burn your stuff up?
No, I just ran into some lap traffic and probably just waited too long to pit, man. But for my second week on iRacing, I'll take it, man. I had a blast. Kind of just biding my time. I didn't use my fast repair, even though I got caught up in a couple wrecks till about 100 to go, and just kind of decided to go from there. Had fun racing with Jeremy. Congrats to him. That's an awesome win. But yeah, I'm super pleased with second, and hopefully make a little bit more of these Monday Night Lightning races. See if we can't pick up a W throughout the year.
Yes, sir. P number 2 tonight. You head on into Sonoma. Do you have a chance of winning that one next week?
No, probably not. Didn't test very good. I'm just gonna try to make the race in Sonoma. So hopefully we can just make the race and ride around and see what we can't do.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Rick, you have the fastest man in Charlotte tonight. Go get Jeremy.
Jeremy Brio, stage 1 winner. You ran into some stage 2 trouble, but those last 100 laps seem to be the JB show. Not only did you come away with a gold medal tonight, but you just spanked the field in stage 3. What was your secret? How'd you pull that off? Jeremy Brio, Rick James in the booth. You got us?
Got me, Rick?
Hey, Jeremy, we got you, buddy. How did you pull off that dominating stage 3 performance?
Well, I can tell you the two names on the back bumper. They're the grandparents of my sponsor, Smeal Racing Designs, Jim Cressley and Michael and Draco. They're veterans. They were on. They're grandparents of my sponsor. Like I said, they were on board with me the whole night. I don't know how I did that. I've never driven these cars before. It was just a whirlwind. I'm just kind of emotional because I won it for those guys.
A very, very special Memorial Day win. You're going to leave Charlotte and head into Sonoma with the Season 2 Round 1 gold medal. Any predictions next week for the first road course race of the season?
Well, if short tracks are my strong suit, well, get ready for road courses because that's what I'm really good at.
For now, buddy, you can celebrate and you can kick back. Job well done. Congratulations on that win tonight.
All right, thanks, man.
Terry, what a show. What a Memorial Day Monday night, and what a way to kick off Season 2, huh?
What a way to kick off Season 2. I can't wait. I'm so glad you sent me the invite. I just want to say before we go off the air, before I left for Korea, after I lost my dad, I got an unfortunate phone call that any soldier never wants to get. We had a soldier that was a staff sergeant in the United States Army. He lost his life to the battle after the battle. We've lose 21 veterans a day, and 21 a day is too many. One is too many. Before you go to bed on this Memorial Day, think about all the people who lost it after the war. You know, we think about the people who went and served their country and they came home. We think of the people that lost their lives over there in Iraq and Afghanistan, but think of the people as well who lost it home here on American soil that just couldn't take it anymore. My heart goes out to every single one of the veterans and people who have lost their lives, and it's just an honor to be here in this great nation watching a great race.
An absolute pleasure having you in the booth. Fans at home, thank you for sharing your Memorial Day Monday with us. Thank you for helping us celebrate America and our military at home and abroad, especially tonight of all nights. We mean this more than anything, folks. Stay safe, take care of each other, and we will see you all next Monday night